What's going on, boxing world? It's your dog, Artman Boxing, and I'm back with another boxing conversation. Um, Shout out to everybody who bought merch off the website. I know everybody's ready to throw their fucking merch on to watch that Canelo versus Plant fight. I know I am. I got my shit ready. I've been wearing that shit like every day since. That's how fucking happy I am, man. Ready to see that fucking I would say all American showdown, but it's not because I forgot that Canelo, even though he looks like a white guy, he's from Mexico. But it's gonna be a showdown of Mexico versus America, and I'm riding with my dude Caleb Plant, and I don't give a damn if you don't like it. I hear people calling Plant MAGA Plant and all this shit, but I don't give a fuck about none of that shit because it's go time. But yeah, shout out to everybody, dude. Says salute Art Man in the chat. Shit, ain't nobody up in here, just you. We cooking. I just this is like a little, I wouldn't say surprise chat, but I ain't really let everybody know I was on here going live. But I'm here and it's time to put in some work. Let me go ahead and drop that link for you. I'm put the link in the chat. Yeah, man, we just been in here cooking, dog. We just been in here cooking, man. Shit, let's cook then. I gotta get my iPad not charged. I thought this shit was charged. Hold on, y'all. Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, there we go. What's going on, Art?
My brother Alan Young, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. How you doing, man?
Shit, I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. I had a long day at work, but shit, I'm back at it. I couldn't do no live stream last night because I was too busy living it.
Yeah.
But
Let's cook.
but yeah, what's on your mind, man?
Since it's fight week, Boots fight week, and then next is Caleb Plant versus Canelo. Want to talk about Boots first, then we can go into Caleb Plant and Canelo.
Yeah, let's what you want to go into first? Canelo versus Plant or the Boots fight?
I mean, cause we are. I want to go to Boots because Boots is going to be a little bit quicker. Cause I got more thoughts on Caleb Plant and Canelo.
Okay. So when it comes, the reason why I've named the title what it is because I feel like Showtime is leading us up for a Boots versus Jamal James fight, and I know
Hmm.
everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Boots is gonna beat Jamal James." Yeah. I still want to see it.
Oh, of course.
I
I
want to
love to
see it,
watch Boots fight. You know.
and I like
Uh.
my brother Jamal James, man. He's actually one of the first boxers that actually paid me to draw a painting of them.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I fuck with Jamal James, but to all majority all his fights at the Armory. Shit.
That'll be a good
Went to all
fight.
his fights at the Armory. Met him in person. Met his coach. Made some hoodies for him. All that, man. But all bias aside, I know that his skills is not the best as Boots. But one thing I know about my brother Jamal James is that he's a fighter, and he only has one L, and that's to the WBA champion of the world.
Yeah, I know
Yugas.
he's gonna wanna get that back too. So
Yeah, out and yeah, and he wanted that Yugas fight, but shit just weird. But it is what it is, man. I just can't wait. But the reason why I brought up Jamal James as well is because Jamal James' last fight was actually Delorme,
yeah,
and he made easy work of Delorme. I know it was like a tough fight, but it was still easy. He'd do like a 15 punch combination.
yeah. And I guess he's trying to Boots is trying to gonna make a statement for that so that he can show like I want Jamal next or whoever excuse me, is next because Stadionis fought Delorme, and Delorme did pretty good in that fight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and it makes me really think this shit is politics. Because how the fuck the guy with the worst performance against Delorme is getting the fucking title shot against Yugis?
And it's crazy because it's EJ. EJ's gonna bring money. That's a money fight. That's a fight that we want to see. That's a fight that brings us closer to one face, one name at 147. So for them to do that, and then all this, it's funny because they do that, and then all this history about their bias and their racism comes out. So you know what it is, Art. You know what it is. But as it goes,
I definitely know what it is, man. Because it's like, because look, like you said it, the money is in EJ. So what are you doing? That would make us speculate that maybe you guys were just don't want to see another black champion.
of course,
That's what I'm
and
looking at it. Or maybe you guys got some it's stenosis people breaking y'all off some more money than y'all can possibly make off of Arrow versus Yuga's unification. What's going on? Don't sit here and try to pretend like you guys have some type of fairness. There's no fucking fairness going on, man. You guys are full of shit in the WBA, and we already proved that you guys have racial intent. If we were to sue you for discrimination, we will most likely win because we can prove racial intent based off those tweets,
not even just
motherfucker.
that. Based off those tweets, based off of Mikael Fox, like him and Maestro versus Maestro, and the
And I
judge
was
and the
there.
judges,
The
he's piecing
crazy
that
part that
boy
I
up
was
right.
there just makes me feel like, yo, what the fuck? Maybe it was destined for me to see that shit. Because that was like one of the biggest robberies in boxing. Like, and they're so corrupt. Dude, they hurry up and got Maestro out of there, bro, because the whole crowd was like, dude, man, if I didn't, man, they lucky I was in my right mind that night because if I wasn't, I probably would have threw a fucking beer can in the fucking ring or a bottle or something. Just
Yeah, fuck
also
that.
just
So
pure emotion. Seriously, probably would have got thrown out. But
he didn't win that fight.
it's just like bullshit because it's like when are we gonna sit here and call this shit out? You know what I'm saying? When are we
Yeah,
gonna call it out?
and he didn't win that fight. It's crazy,
Of
man,
course, he
because
know
it's
he
just
ain't win
like
that fucking fight.
you fight you train your ass off, you fighting your ass off just to get robbed. It's disgusting. Like it don't make no sense. And then
And
they try to make it seem like it's something that it's not. They try to make it seem like we the ones that's bugging. When we call this stuff out. If we didn't call this stuff
exactly,
out,
my dude, heavy hitter says I missed the fight. Is it that bad? Yeah, it's that bad. It's so bad that even though we argue, us fans, boxing fans, we argue every single day about everything. But that is something we all can agree on that motherfucker got robbed. There's no you can't find no one that says Maestro won that fight, even on some cap shit, because they're like fuck no, that's hell no. There's no argument. He lost that shit. He got dropped in the fight and got outboxed. He didn't rock. He didn't rock fucking Fox. He didn't hurt him. He didn't have him stumble where we're like, oh, okay, I can see why the judge gave. No, it was none of that shit. He just went in there and got dropped and got his ass cooked and tried to go in there and he tried to fight him with skin gloves.
yeah, he
The
did the
commission
gloves.
approved skin gloves and made him rewrap his glove or made him refit his gloves the night of the fight.
And it's crazy because this is something that I always say is that time reveals all truth. So regardless of how they try to bury all the things that are happening, all the corruption in boxing and in life, this stuff is going to come to light, and it's all connected. So just like you found those gloves, you can go back to. I don't even want to get into it, man. I don't even want to get into that, man.
What, you was
It
gonna
just,
bring up Tyson Fury?
yeah, man. I was gonna bring that up, man,
You
but I
know
ain't
what?
gonna get into that.
It is what it is because at the end of the day, I know it pisses you off that our brother didn't win that fight, but it gave me a level of understanding that let me know, like, yeah, man, even though I love this sport to death, this shit is fucked up. It's
Yeah,
definitely fucked up, man. Just the allowance of or them allowing certain fighters to move a certain direction. Like people are asking questions like, why do Yuskatagi Fight gets immediately scrapped, but Valdez gets to fight and keep his
Yeah,
belt. What's going on?
yeah. And when Valdez's next, but I call him Valpeds, in Valped's next fight, how are they going to tackle this situation? Because not only did he cheat, he's a drug cheat, but he robbed the dude as well. You know, so it would have been a whole different look if
You know how they do that?
Conseco.
You know how they
How
do it?
how
Try to rewrite history.
yeah, and that's
Because
revisionist.
one
That
thing I
that's
noticed, I swear to God, I looked it up. You guys can go see for yourself. I didn't watch the fight, but I'm like, okay, let me go see the highlights. You go to the highlights, you can't find one clip of the dude hitting Valdez.
that's crazy.
It's
That's the
all
crazy part.
Valdez, all Valdez, pro Valdez. And I'm like, yo, the fix was in. Like they even had the motherfucking they even had the statue ready for his ass. He had to win that fight.
Yeah,
He
you
had to
know
win
that's
that fight. And you know what's crazy about Valdez? We thought it started the corruption. It started right there. Nah, it didn't start right there. I remember people were upset that Valdez was on the Ring magazine cover the same year Earl Spence flew out of a car and came back and fought Danny Garcia and won.
yeah, man, that's crazy. People still don't give him no respect for that. I know he made those choices outside of the ring, but at the same time, he came back and dominated Danny Garcia. And as soon as because I remember being in other people's lives and on the internet, and everybody was like, "Oh, Danny's gonna knock Earl out. Earl like the same. Earl, drunk
Earl
Earl,
not the
drunk Earl.
same. Bob Earl
He gonna
said
get
Earl's a
knocked out."
vegetable, all types of shit.
And he comes out and dominates Danny Garcia. And I remember being
Better
so
than niggas
nervous
that's
during that fight.
100%.
Exactly. And they don't give him credit for that. And now they say, oh, well, Danny hasn't been a top welterweight in a minute. Like, okay, or whatever.
Yep.
And
Danny not
and I
a top welterweight and but motherfuckers getting credit for beating Mean Machine. Make it make
exactly.
sense.
And it's like they don't they disrespect Earl so much, and it's so crazy because me and Earl are both from Dallas, so I'll rock with my guy EJ. And it's crazy, but he's doing all the right things. He's looking for the best. He could have took a tune up for Danny. He's not trying to take a tune up for his next fight, even though he came off that eye injury, and people tried to say that he was ducking Pacquiao, like he faked that. But I made a tweet that said, and Earl Spencer tweeted himself. He was like, I was just like, y'all better give Ryan Garcia the same energy that y'all tried to give Earl Spence about that eye injury, because guys like that are getting away with stuff like that. But Earl Spence Jr., a premier fighter of the sport, you know, he constantly gets disrespected by fans and media alike, and it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. But it is what it is. As long as we continue to speak on these topics, regardless of what all them suckers say, because them dudes going
And
they don't.
that's one thing I love. That's one thing I love about doing this shit because even though my platform is not as big as the rest of the guys in LWC or whatever, I love to talk about all that because why not? I love talking about the history of the sport and how it plays on today. We cannot go from the mob and cheating being heavily involved in boxing till today and people just act like it just magically disappeared. No, somebody has to speak on it. Somebody has to address it. And
It's
not
the
saying
same.
that's what I want to base my show around, but it's basically about I love looking into boxing more than just on a face value look where people just look at boxing and thinks everything's on the up and up and that's just how it is. Nah, you gotta I love learning why the fuck certain things are happening and who's the reason why certain things are happening. You feel me?
Yeah. And it's like you said, it's a bunch of revisionist history because a lot of these things are being swept under the rug or they're being changed and they're being made to look like something else, you know? And I just want to move into Canelo and Caleb Plant right now. If if you still got something to say, that's then I'll just wait. But
That's
um
cool. We can talk about the Canelo versus Plant. The Canelo versus Plant. People been coming at me heavy. They say, "Art man, why do you have Canelo merch on your website if you just hate Canelo?" And I'm like, dude, I don't hate Canelo. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like this guy is the closest thing to fucking Jesus Christ. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like
all
you guys
facts.
do.
It's
I'm gonna
crazy
call it how it
because
is.
they
Like
act like he's unbeatable, you know, and he's been beat before on multiple occasions. And
yeah,
people
make
will
it make
say, well,
sense.
Canelo's really evolved, but has he evolved, or is it the opposition that he's facing, the type of people that he's facing? Like, if you look at the Callum Smith fight and the Billy Joe Saunders fights, them dudes, they were in the ring scared. They were starstruck because it was just like, it's Canelo. If you look at Callum Smith in the entire fight, he's basically walking around, not throwing enough punches, not throwing anything with conviction, and letting Canelo walk him down and push him and bully him into the ropes and just teeing off on him. And Canelo's just picking this dude apart all throughout that fight.
You
He's
talk about the
not,
Callum Smith fight.
yeah, he didn't impose his size or will at all.
They said
Like,
this motherfucker has the highest percentage in jabs at super middleweight. Where the fuck was it at? And
I
then
don't know.
dudes want to sit here and tell us, well, Canelo, he's just that good. Guys are scared. They're so scared. And that's what I heard after the fight because people are like, yo, okay, that was kind of weird. But people are saying, well, he was just afraid to get countered by Canelo because, Canelo's just this monstrous puncher.
He's a power puncher. They try to act like he's Gerald McClellan or Julian Jackson or something. Like he just one touch dudes out of there. He hasn't done that. What elite opponent has he dominated? I don't care if anybody says I'm a
He
hater
didn't
or I don't
even
know what I'm
knock out
talking about.
Chavez Jr.,
Exactly.
who was rate drained.
Wasn't that a catch weight of like 164 or something like that? A catch weight?
It was like 160. It was like something. That fight was before the Triple G fight, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
Because he
he was
told
testing
Triple
it. No,
G,
I'm just talking shit, but I'm saying he was probably testing out the Clint in that fight.
yeah, because if and then going back to that, if you look at the Billy Joe Saunders fight and Callum Smith, he didn't get tired in that fight. I feel like in the Billy Joe Saunders fight, he got a little bit tired. Both of them were gassed in that fight, I believe. But I feel like since they raised the level of computer raw that you can have in your system, he's not going to get caught for computer raw again. You know,
And let's be real, the conversation that we're having, you can say that because it's the actual truth. That yes, they raised the levels of Kimbuterol.
and it's like five Mexican fighters tested positive for it. So it's then they'll say it's the cows or whatever, but it's like you're rich. You should be able to raise your cows or whatever you have to do to know that like if I'm getting this beef from Mexico and that all these cows are popping with Comedura, then I should not be eating these cows from Mexico. You know? Something like that. Like I should be eating from somewhere where I know I can test these cows. I can test where this meat is coming from. I can test what they have in their system and whatever. But on the boxing end of it, I just feel like Calvin Smith he did nothing to give himself. He took away his advantages while Canelo didn't. He stacked that against himself. And the Billy Joe Saunders fight, Billy Joe Saunders is supposedly some great mover. He's better than playing, which he's not. But what
I
kind of
hate when they
movement
say that stupid ass shit. I really do.
they say? And I feel like a lot of these dudes do that to big up Canelo's victories. Like Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant will school Billy Joe Saunders. In, but it's just like, and even in the Canelo fight, what movement, great movement was he doing? He was just, I don't know what he was doing, man, in that
Could,
fight.
to be honest, from what I remember from that Billy Joe Saunders fight, like it was like it felt like Canelo was just walking him down, jab, 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 left hook until he got tired, and then Canelo just beat him up, and that was that. Like some Rocky shit. Like what the fuck, man?
He didn't
I don't
use,
know, man. All I'm saying is, Canelo. We're looking at these pictures of him looking all muscular and this and that, and it just makes me feel like, man, dude, if Caleb Plant goes in there and beats this guy, psh,
which I
he's gonna
believe
be
he
bigger than
can.
life. He's gonna be bigger than
Okay,
life.
and Billy Joe Saunders, he really just sat and he picked his spots. He didn't really move like he should have against Canelo. Because don't get me wrong, I've always said this, and I put this out multiple times. I put a tweet out, and I said Canelo's a great fighter, but he's a drug cheat. Those two things can coexist. Like he He's a damn good fighter, but he's a cheater. And one thing that Canelo does well is that he knows his disadvantages as well as his advantages. He works within that limit, but you can offset him with lateral. You have to offset him with lateral movement to upset his rhythm and his pace because Canelo has in his previous fights he gets tired. He has terrible stamina. And one thing about Caleb Plant is when you think of slick styles, Caleb Plant is a very slick fighter. He's very good. He can box very well. And people will say, well, who's he fought? Well, who did Liam Smith fight? Well, not Liam Smith, Callum Smith fight. Who did Billy Joe
They might
Saunders
as well be
fight?
the same people, right?
Exactly. Pretty much. Because and well, they'll say, well, Billy Joe Saunders fought David Lemieux. David Lemieux is garbage.
And that's the they went, bro. David Lemieux. These fans will David Lemieux us to fucking death when it comes to bragging about what Billy Joe Saunders did. Cause I posted that shit on fucking Twitter. I'm like, dude, Billy Joe Saunders is fucking trash, man. Compared trash compared to the elite level of boxers, bro.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck
Cause
about no David Lemieux fight, bro. Who is David Lemieux? The fuck? Lemieux is a fucking nobody. Last time I checked, Lemieux had to go to the fucking hospital because he fucking tried to kill himself trying to make weight.
damn.
That's the last thing I heard about Lemieux. The
And
fuck out of
and
here with that shit, man.
Billy Joe
The
Saunders
fuck out of
ducked
here.
Andrade.
And then he
He
open and then they don't even count that. He openly Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo has a lot in common. People don't even understand. They both openly ducked Andre and they both got caught up for pens.
facts. And he ducked Andrade. He dropped his belt, moves up, and gets to fight for that same belt. Whatever, man. It's just and Canelo had a good path. He had all the belts. He said he wanted cuatro kilos. Andrade was the last piece of that undisputed pie. He threw the pie in the trash, moved up. But Andrade's a horrible fighter. If he's such a horrible fighter, go up there and take his belt, man.
And then when
That's
he
it.
say that, they try to make it seem like this is what I don't like from Canelo. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. As much as I like Canelo, pay Canelo, all that shit, I'm gonna call it out. The fact that he keep on calling Andre a terrible fighter, like he's fucking Rolly or something, it's kind of insulting because it's like, nigga, I don't think he's a terrible fighter, and me,
If
my
he's a
niggas don't think he a terrible fighter. What the fuck? You just
if
saying
he's
he bad, but not beating. That shit don't have. We don't let that shit fly in my hood where we from. You don't just be like, oh, that nigga trash, so I don't want to fight him. No, it's nigga, show us that he's trash
yeah.
or shut up.
And let me put it like this, Art. If Earl Spence, let's say he fights Ugas in the meantime, beats Ugas. Bud is the only fighter. Bud comes to one of his press conferences. He's talking big smoke like he did in face to face. And then Errol's just like, man, get out of here, man. You a horrible fighter. He starts cussing him out and doing all this. You ain't never getting to fight. You a horrible fighter.
Get out of here, motherfucker. I'm gonna
Yeah,
kick your ass right now.
yeah.
But you
Get
didn't
the
do
fuck
it
out of
though.
here, man. But and then he's gonna get crucified. He's gonna get EJ would get crucified for doing the same thing. When you think about it, Andrade and Bud, people might not like this, but they kind of have a similar career, not path, but business wise, you know, as far as hit Andrade at 160 and Bud at 147. But if EJ was to do that to Bud, and then let's say Bud he moved up or something, and then he'll fight for undisputed there. What do you think they would say? They would crucify EJ for that,
They will
man. It don't make no
crucify him.
sense. They do it for less, you know, and they'll try to say that EJ's on Peds. They'll try to say that EJ Doug Pacquiao, all this other crap. And it's like, come on, man. Like,
What's good,
if
y'all?
you want to, what's going on, man?
Imagine Errol Spence. Errol Spence is like, you get out of here, motherfucker. I'm gonna kick your ass right now.
They
Yeah, like,
already tried that. They
The
already
fuck?
tried to say
What do you
that
think would happen?
Errol. They tried to spread the PED rumors when Errol was getting ready to fight Mikey. They were like, "Oh, look at him. He's huge. He's too." They already been trying that. It don't matter what we do.
when we already know EJ is a big 147 pounder, him and Boots are probably two of the biggest dudes at 147. I feel like both of them belong at 160 anyways. But
But oh,
Yep,
go ahead.
I said that. I said it. But my dude Isaiah Felix says terrible fighter equals threat. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
facts.
when they say when they because again before literally before Mayweather beat Canelo, didn't nobody talk about no resumes? Nobody was washed after two fights. None of that bullshit. And a lot of people ain't now. But for some reason, like they always say, oh, Canelo's beating champions. Andrade and Charlo are champions, but for some reason, with black champions that are undefeated, there's an asterisk. There's some extra shit. You got to do some more. You got to check the resume. And then, like I was talking about Lemieux, who, like, literally, someone was trying to brag on Canelo's resume today, saying Mayweather wasn't shit. When all of Canelo's best wins are Mayweather victims, and then when they realize that, they're like, "Oh shit!" Like you just threw Canelo's whole resume in the dumpster. This little European run,
And they'll be
like
like, well, Canelo beat him better.
yeah,
No,
this little European run y'all was just talking about, like y'all was talking about Lemieux. Lemieux is a bunch of niggas' best win. How is everybody best win? He keep getting beat. Who is this nigga? Lemieux is who?
where y'all
Lemieux
find this nigga from?
Lemieux
Arby's,
got
that's
beat
what.
up.
I haven't
Lemieux
seen
got
this nigga since the HBO days, and y'all be bragging about this dude. What the fuck?
Lemieux got
Exactly.
beat up and lost to a guy that Jamal Charlo took out in like 7 rounds. Some asshole from Canada. Lemieux's been beat up by fucking nobody. His best win, I think, is fucking Gabe Rosado. My
He knocked
God.
he knocked out Curtis Stevens too, but still, who is Curtis Stevens?
Curtis Stevens was the fucking James Kirkland of that division. Nigga started
Facts.
out good, but the moment he got upped, the moment he upped his little comp, he got destroyed. He was fucking B level. That was it. This is what it is.
He said Lemieux from the yeah. Shout out to my dude Jason. He said, shout out to the young king art man. Hell yeah, we out here cooking, man. Uh
Like it's craziness. Lemieux's the definition of ain't shit. And then you want to talk about resume? Billy Joe Saunders best win. Lemieux. Smith best win is fucking what? Groves? Who was rated against absolutely nobody? Who he beat? Eubank Jr. Like who the fuck are these people, bro? These dudes are literally beating up butlers and claiming greatness. And you know some crazy shit I saw today? You know some crazy shit?
What?
Motherfuckers are really on Twitter talking about Andre Ward overrated for being washed European white fighters. I bullshit you not. I
What?
bullshit you. I bullshit you not. They said Andre Ward is overrated for beating a bunch of washed European fighters. These are Canelo fans, and I'm
the
like, so let me
same
get this right.
the same Andre Ward that cleaned out a division?
I'm like, let me get this right. Andre Ward took out Kovalev twice and stopped him when he was rated as P for P number one by most journalistic outlets.
when he was rated one of the best fighters, not when he was a nigga who was struggling to beat a dude who's a prospect.
Right.
Yeah. I
Pre-
mean,
preci-
a month
precisely.
later,
Precisely. He was
Oh
rated
yeah.
as number one pound for pound on the planet and one of the fiercest punchers known to man. Andre Ward got P for P off of that.
The
Canelo
same
Alvarez got P for P off of Callum motherfucking Smith.
wait
Ain't
guys,
beat nobody in his life.
the same Andre Ward that Golovkin was running from, the same Andre Ward that like don't even get me started, man. Andre Ward
Ex-
will hurt. He will destroy like he will school Canelo.
exactly. And keep in mind, these are people that rate Triple G highly. They're like, for what? They're like, oh, he unified a division. I'm like, great. Who'd he fight to get the belts? Crickets. My point. Y'all
He
don't even remember.
they tried to tie him with Bernard Hopkins with title defenses off secondary titles, if I'm remembering this correctly. They said he had
Right.
23 title defenses off secondary titles.
But then
He's
Tank
fighting.
Tank but then Tank trash for going around collecting WBA belts. Right. Okay.
He fought what's that African dude, whatever that African dude's name. He knocked that African dude out and that Japanese dude, and they tried to, man, get out of here, man. He been running. He
Literally
been ducking Charlo and Andrade for three 3 years, almost 4 years.
and then
And
it's funny
Andrade
because
and
oh
then
sorry,
they
go
were
ahead.
on the same. Go ahead, oh, my bad, bro. They are on the same network. Him, Canelo, and Andrade. Why is Andrade not able to get those fights? Them dudes don't want no smoke with him, man. And then
Well,
every time he tries to mention Canelo or Bum Lovkin, they try to put Charlo in the way. Man, they do, and they doing it right now with Shakur Stevens, and they trying he's trying to get Valpez, but they're trying to put Tank or Colbert in the way.
Right. Same way the people at 168, they want to throw Benavidez at Charlo and Andre, say Charlo and Andre ducking, but the franchise witness protection dude at 168 that should have been fought Benavidez, he ain't ducking nobody. All right, make that shit make sense. Every time you bring up Canelo and Benavidez, they talk about we don't want to see that fight, or will Andre need to step up for what? Canelo already said he's never going to fight Andre. So what the fuck Andre stepping up for? Not to mention you want him to go up to 168, fight a nigga for no belt? What?
The crazy part
No.
about it is they said Canelo told Benavidez you should have made weight after. Man, what kind of soft sucker bitch ass shit is that? What the what? Like I don't. And Benavidez is on some weird stuff with Canelo. I don't know why. But because Carlo is on some weird stuff with Canelo now too, and it's just like stop kissing this nigga's ass. Fuck him, bro.
They're tired.
Disrespect this man. Go get what's yours.
Well, nah,
I
because
don't even,
Benavidez is Mexican. Benavidez is Mexican. He do not want to lose that fan base. And Charlo is just trying not to get the N word spammed in his DMs every single day, and people watching him and saying that he lose every fight every time a punch lands. Because Big Charlo, every time someone lands a clean punch on Big Charlo, they always say he lost the round. Oh, he lost to Montiel. Oh, he lost to
He lost
Korobov.
to Matt Kobarov.
Yeah, they every time someone lands a clean punch on him, it's the same with Haney. Oh, he got hit one time, so he lost the entire fight. Like it's the same shit. Anytime you land clean, they just say, "Oh, you throw the whole fight away." I'm like, damn, if that's
because
the case.
because they don't. You know what it is? It's like I feel like they hate Mayweather, but they judge every fight by the standards of his fight because they be like, oh well, see, Mayweather never got touched, so why are these guys getting touched in a boxing match? That never happens in boxing. Like,
Yep,
did you guys forget that people get punched in boxing? And yeah, maybe
meanwhile,
maybe
they're
you're
too
not used
busy.
to seeing your fighter getting beat up on or fighting fighting hard because you've seen Canelo fight these fucking Euro level guys and he's making that shit look easy.
meanwhile, he get up there getting pieced up by Triple G, and somehow he winning every motherfucking round. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they forgot
all
about
right,
that shit. They look,
Laura,
they
boxing
say
is soft
Canelo's
soft.
so much better, so much better. Why? How? Because he beat Eardrum and Caleb Smith.
these are people. It's funny because these are people that motherfuckers have never heard of until Canelo spoke their name. Like no one was ever checking for Callum Smith. No one. People wanted to see Billy Joe Sanders at 160 when he might have been worth some shit, but he went up to 168 and fought fucking nobody, and he
And
looked like
fought nobody
trash.
and almost lost.
And then people want to talk about resumes. I'm sorry. I said it once, I'll say it again. Benavidez not only has never fought nobody like quality under the age of 35 in his fucking life, but he almost got a damn draw and lost to Gabriel the cab driver and got dropped. Big Charlo ain't
Man,
never been dropped.
you think Benavidez is gonna go in there and stop Kayron Davis?
Yeah, he's gonna tear his little ass out the frame. I mean, come on, like,
Yeah,
is he? I don't think he's gonna like. I don't think he's gonna like stop him. Stop him. I think the referee is gonna stop him for accumulation of punches, so Benavidez could have another knockout.
yeah,
Because
and I keep on saying, I keep on saying, like, y'all gonna be surprised. I ain't saying he gonna win. I'm just saying it's a much better fight. I think he might stop, dude. Man, but Davis though, he do got a little heart, but he had a little quick turnaround. It's a
he
little quick.
has, he doesn't have enough power to get on Benavidez's nerves, and he doesn't have the boxing ability of Durrell to outbox him.
Why he
So
take that fight? He probably said, "Fuck, I'm about to cash out."
yeah, he wants some bread. I mean, he wasn't doing shit else but being Terrence Crawford's like prep person. So fuck it.
He be rapping and shit. He be doing his little thing, man. Shout out to dude.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
let me ask
I
y'all
wish him
this.
luck.
Let me ask y'all this.
What's up?
What kind of boxing fans, quote unquote boxing fans have you ever seen every time a great fight is mentioned, they got 10,000, 10 million excuses about why dude shouldn't fight. They don't deserve this. Like, they don't deserve this. They don't deserve that. All right.
But when the fights that the fighters who actually don't deserve title shots, they don't
Are
speak on
getting
that
them.
shit. Like
They're
They
fucking
getting
only
them.
want fights.
Staniosis.
They only want fights in which they think that either their people will win or a black fighter will lose. That's pretty much all it is now. Because I was listening the whole time, but I was handling some business. But yeah, Stanionis, again, he's just somebody they put up there because they currently think he's the only one, the only non-black person at welterweight that could take out Ugas right now, who's high enough in the rankings to where the shit don't look suspect. As far as Stanionis, Lithuanian people paying off the WBA, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. But the WBA don't need no incentive financially to hate niggas. They already been doing that. They just trying to make a path for Virgil Ortiz Jr. I heard they're trying to make Spence versus Virgil Ortiz as Spence's tune-up. Great. Get his little ass out the frame so I can stop hearing his fucking name. Like they keep talking about this dude. Like the people again, the people that think that Virgil Ortiz Jr. is getting ready to fuck with Spence are just the children of the people that thought Canelo was getting ready to fuck with Mayweather. It's not what you think it's gonna be. I know he looks fast. I know he looks strong. I know because he knocked out fucking 18 bums in a row. You're like, oh, he's gonna take out Spence.
Well, it's the thing about Virgil Ortiz. I like Virgil Ortiz, but his one style, his one gear. Mean Machine was piecing his ass up. What's his name? Maurice Hooker was in that fight. You know, he was hitting him clean. Spence will, and the thing is, EJ's been on weight. He's been training. He's back with Blu-ray. He's on his shit. Cause they got lucky that he got that torn retina or whatever. It's not a detached retina. Yeah, it was a torn retina. The Pac-Man fans got lucky because that would have been a murder scene. Y'all, a lot of slow singing and flower bringing because he would have destroyed Pacquiao, and that would have been a whole different situation. They got very lucky.
He would have stopped Pacquiao in 7 rounds. It would have been horrible.
He
would have beat the shit out of Pacquiao.
And it's gonna be a good fight between him and Virgil, but I feel like EJ is gonna walk this man. He gonna dog walk him. The thing about EJ is he's just as big as Virgil. He's just as strong. He got that experience in his fundamentals and technical skills. See, a lot of people try to make EJ a up and down 1-2 playing guy, but he's got more versatility than that. And it's the things that he does on it. He's a good inside fighter. He's got good fundamentals. He throws jabs and his body punches. That's his bread and butter. He's going to.
The fact
Go ahead. That's it, man. No, you good. That's it.
I was gonna say the fact that Errol is an experienced southpaw and Virgil Ortiz ain't never really been in there with nobody like Errol, that's gonna throw him off top because he's gonna have a difficult time actually landing clean. And hopefully Errol doesn't let him close the distance because Virgil Ortiz's only opportunity is on the inside, bang to the body and go up top. But like you said, he was struggling with Mean Machine. I call them green beans because everybody called them green beans when fucking Terrence Crawford was fighting him. He didn't become Mean Machine until after Virgil beat his ass. But the fact that Mean Machine or Green Beans got up 5 times, that says something from a power perspective. This nigga was getting up. They're like, oh, he beat him more convincingly than Crawford. And I'm like, yeah, he got up 5 fucking times. I mean, it took you 5 times to finally get the fight over with. So I'm like, from a power perspective.
Like, Mean Machine ain't never been shit. He's a bum. Garbage.
Literally.
A fucking bum. He's fucking garbage. And EJ would have dog walked him, man. And he wouldn't have got no credit. Because when EJ was trying to fight Jeff Horn, they were shitting on him for it, to get that belt. But
Terrence Crawford didn't get credit for green beans.
Not green beans, Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn.
No, I heard that part, but you were like, EJ didn't get no credit. I'm like, Terrence Crawford don't get no credit for that win to this day. They didn't even know who the fuck Green Beans was until Terrence Crawford knocked him out. And then when they needed to big up Virgil Ortiz, all of a sudden it was, Mean Machine was the truth. Nigga, what?
He ain't no world beater, man. I'll tell you that. He ain't shit. They talking about, but I've seen dudes talk about, well, Mean Machine, he'll beat Danny Garcia and he'll be a tough time for some of these top dogs. No, the fuck he won't. Boots Ennis will beat the brakes off that man. Boots will hurt him. Boots, man, and the thing about Boots versus Virgil is Boots has versatility. Virgil does not.
He don't.
He got versatility. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say I called him Juan Manuel Marquez 2.0. He fights just like Juan Manuel Marquez. He's a better version. Has almost none of his flaws, but much like Juan Manuel Marquez, that shit's cool until you hit the top levels and then you start getting your ass whooped.
No facts. Shit, because Boots is ready for these top names right now.
You notice when people say they want to see Ennis versus Errol and Bud, you can hear the confidence in their voice. But when you mention Virgil Ortiz versus Bud and Errol, they sound a little shaky. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's just he got to work on some things because they know there's levels to this shit, man.
Nah, they say right now they're saying, oh, Ennis needs to fight a name. Ennis needs to get his resume up to earn Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is selling out fucking Prairie County, Texas, or whatever the fuck he fought, bruh.
Grand Prairie, Texas.
Right,
Hey,
Grand
Yeah.
hey,
fucking
fun
Prairie,
fun
Texas.
fact, fun fact. I actually went to the same school as that nigga.
Virgil?
Yeah,
Oh shit, that's what's up.
yeah.
Well,
But I think
fun
I'm older
fact,
than him. I don't think we went at the same time. I only went to that school for like a year, and
me
I
and
dipped out.
EJ
Artman.
both from DeSoto,
The fuck?
and I
Huh?
I'll
stay in
digress.
Dallas. Me and
You
EJ are
stay in
both from
Dallas? Yeah, I used
DeSoto,
to live in
and I stay in
Arlington.
Dallas. Yeah, I live in Frisco right now. I was actually I think I'm close to the stadium that what's his name, Virgil Ortiz fought what's his name, Mean Machine at.
Yeah, sound like that's gonna be the hub. That's why I need my brother Jamal James to win this fight on Saturday, man. Bring
I'm
another
nervous.
fight out here to the Armory, a
I'm
big one,
nervous for
man.
James. I'm nervous.
You say
I
you
don't
nervous for? I am nervous too. I was watching some film
know.
on that dude he fought. That
It
dude
don't look.
he had a wicked body shot. But
I,
we'll
I'm
see.
I'm
We'll
not even
see.
rating. I'm not even rating Butaev off of that fucking nobody he fought on PBC. I'm not rating him off that. I'm rating him off his performance against Best Buden, even though he lost because Best Buden got quicker hands and some chin. But I'm just like, man, I've seen enough tape on James to where I'm like, bro, if Butaev gets close to that body, and then because James fights a lot like Ugas, unfortunately, in which during a lot of times he'll give up his height and reach advantage to close the distance and try to bang on the inside. I'm sorry, but from a power perspective, James is not
You
that
don't
guy.
gotta say sorry, nigga. Say what you want to say.
Well, no, because I'm apologizing to myself more so because I like James. I don't want to have to say this shit, I got to keep it real. I want James to win, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
We'll see. He got to get past the dude on Saturday. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Butaev. Whew,
You
it's
think
scary.
Boots gonna get past Delorme?
Oh my
Man,
god,
that ain't a
he
question. Not a question, man. He gonna hurt that boy. He gonna hurt that man.
Hey,
Delorme is
that's
gonna
some
be
funny shit.
Delorme is gonna be crippled after this, man. I feel bad for
I
Delorme.
gotta
Yeah,
feel bad for Delorme because I'm like, bro, why y'all keep on putting them in here with these dudes? What's
he's a
going
He
on?
had
Gamboa.
these good fighters, man. But he was piecing Stadionis up because I thought Stadionis was gonna knock him out, and he didn't. So I'm like, man, get
Me
this
too.
dude out of here,
Stanosis
man.
ended up fucking his hands up in that fight too. He could have lost that fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't watch all of
And
it,
this
but
is the guy. This is the guy who's getting the championship fight against the guy who just beat Manny Pacquiao,
Pacquiao, and
the
that's
eight
so crazy,
division
man.
world champion.
That makes me
right.
so mad.
Stenosis is so deserving of fighting the guy who beat a legend.
Facts.
Suddenly, I find it funny how suddenly Pacquiao isn't shit. When they were all picking Pacquiao to beat the shit out of Ugas, as soon as Ugas fuck around and win, oh Pacquiao's he ain't got nothing left to prove. What? Get the fucking
You know
bro,
the game,
cut the
man.
bullshit.
You know the
Cut
game.
the
Bro, at
That's
that
how
bullshit.
they
point,
do.
we just everybody, bro. During that fight, I feel like everybody like took a mental note and just thank God Errol Spence wasn't in there with Manny Pacquiao.
Even if they wouldn't say it,
Right.
they
What they say,
because they know
God's
what's good.
plan. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao really had the Lord on his side because man,
It would have
Errol
been another
Spence.
man down. It would have been
it'd have
another
been worse than
man
Errol
a man
down in that
down.
ring.
Errol
It'd
Spence
have been
would have
senator down.
right. He would not be running for president right now. He would have needed emergency level surgery. Like
Did you see that
worse.
video?
Because Errol Spence, you know what Errol Spence, he probably would have tried to make a fucking an impression, like a you know what I'm saying? Because y'all say I can't knock niggas out, and I knock Manny Pacquiao out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bad, nigga. Like what the fuck?
Did y'all see that video of Manny eating them bananas? How he was eating the
No, he was
bananas
eating
after the
that
Ugas
cream of
fight?
wheat.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever he was eating, it would have been through a straw. He would have been you wouldn't even you wouldn't even been able to hear that accent. He would have just been uh
This
um
man would have been on an applesauce IV like fucking SpongeBob. Yeah, we wouldn't have been eating shit. He would have been in the hospital, not talking, comatose, and everything. He would have got broke off horrible.
I'm just
And then
Yeah,
they were
glad.
like,
senator down. Yeah, I'm serious, bro. Y'all, bro, we know what time it is. But
it's funny though because
Who's
people
Arrow gonna fight when he come back? Stenosis?
I don't know. I just want to see my guy back in the ring. EJ is my favorite fighter, man. I can't wait for he get back in the ring.
I hope
Like
Ortiz step up. I hope Ortiz step up because people are trying to cap for him they're like, oh, because Virgil Ortiz is still the number one for the WBO, and he could have had Crawford in December, but he let Porter go ahead and reach around that. And apparently, they already turned down the Crawford opportunity and
Yeah,
didn't
I
go
did hear
for it
that.
because they had Green Beans already scheduled. And I'm like, right, Virgil know that Crawford beats him, and I think he thinks he's more comfortable with Spence, but whatever. Good luck, niggas.
See, that's the crazy part is that I feel like people think, oh well, EJ's an easier fight than Bud. No, y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out
No, these
because
these people don't watch enough boxing, like, and
they
that's why they're
don't.
definitely trying to put the witness protection system away from Ennis because Ennis was about to knock out in one round a dude that Spence went five with.
Yeah,
What was his name? Van Heerden.
Van Heerden. That I
Into
think Van Heerden caused that headbutt on purpose.
Of course he
Oh,
did. He was about to get destroyed. The same as Collazo. The same as Collazo with Stanionis bitched about like a headbutt or some shit because he didn't want to go to the hospital for his retirement. Stanionis was gonna fucking pulverize goddamn Collazo. So yeah, he headbutted himself out of the fight, just like what's his name, Warrington versus Lara. Warrington
man.
headbutted himself too because he didn't want to go out like that, getting beat up by a fucking bum.
But that's how them UK dudes are, man.
These
Trash,
motherfuckers
garbage.
making mega fights out of a dude out of fighting a bum. That shit's crazy.
Ain't nobody heard of this man before. He came in, tore Warrington's ass out of the frame. A dude who's never been good. And what his best wins are what? Santa Cruz?
Not only did Warrington get beat up, the person that they said was better than fucking
Gary
Gary
Russell.
Russell Jr. got beat up.
Yeah,
You gotta keep
My
that in mind.
God.
man. I don't like how they doing my guy Gary Russell, man. I've been waiting for him to get back in the ring. I don't know what's going on with him. Trying to see him
Yeah,
get back in the ring, man.
that's weird. I don't know what's going on with Gary Russell camp either. There's a lot of speculation. I don't like the disrespect though. They make it seem like Gary Russell is just somebody to play with. I'm like, no one is eager trying to unify with him, so clearly he's some kind of threat.
The same way they did Rigo, man.
Oh, but do you think they on some blackball type shit?
Yeah, I feel like they blackballing him because them dudes don't want to fight him.
No. Navarrete acts like he's this big bad dude for Joette, but he's never tried to fight Gary Russell, not once.
See, because Gary is the best at 126, man. They know it. Everybody know it. He the king of 126.
But they try,
Shakur
but they
definitely
try to
didn't call
say
out Gary Russell.
they.
That's
So crazy. They'll say things like Navarrete, nigga. Navarrete will get his ass beat up by fucking Gary Russell, man. Stop playing games, dude.
yeah, I
They
don't
know
know
what
what the
it
fuck
is,
that's
man.
about.
They be see the thing is that they be selling wolf tickets. They'll try to make it seem like they want their fighters to get the smoke, but then when they get called for it, they'll make an excuse. Like, oh no, he don't have to fight this guy. He shouldn't fight this guy. This guy don't deserve it. Oh no, what has he done? All this other is crap, man. Jesus. But
Yeah,
since we were talking about UK styles a little bit, let's bring it back. You know, the thing about Canelo and his European bum bash is that a lot of those dudes had that your UK that trash ass UK style, and Caleb Plant is a full. He been in the amateur game with EJ and all them. He's been in those videos. He's been in that
Oh shit,
team.
y'all
He's
can
been in
hear
that
me?
circle. Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah.
You good?
Oh damn, we back out.
Okay.
But
But
he's
yeah, I
been
can hear
in.
you, bro.
You can hear me. He's been in that circle. He's been in that fire. He's experienced things outside of the ring, where that doesn't compare to the things that are happening inside of the ring. And he's not coming to give Canelo some respect, as you saw in that press conference. A lot of those dudes, even Billy Joe Saunders, he tried to act like he wanted to ruffle feathers, but when it came down to it, he wasn't trying to get Canelo angry. He wasn't trying to, you know, he wasn't trying to impose himself on Canelo. They come in
No.
with a lot of respect for it, man. Fuck that, man. Fuck you, you drug cheat.
And it's funny because what people don't want to understand is that the best way to beat Canelo is to put him in a situation that's a must win. Because in every situation in which it's been a must win fight, he has shit on himself. He's fucked up. He's fumbled the ball. Mayweather, must win fight, fucked up. Triple G's 1 and 2, must win fights, look pretty bad. And now, and with the other ones, he knew he was walking into a guaranteed dub, so he was in there, chest poked out, all confident, just stunning on people. With this one, like me personally, I don't really think Canelo has like a super fantastic legacy considering all the controversy nonsense that his his career has brought. But for his fans, his legacy is on the fucking line. Because let me tell you,
bro.
if he even looks questionable in this fight, I'm going off. I'm gonna do him so bad. I'm gonna do him like they did Wilder. You think I'm a scumbag on Twitter now? My God, the memes I'm gonna make are gonna be ridiculous. Y'all gonna have to fucking
Dude,
unfollow me
if
because I'm gonna get banned. I
bro,
guarantee it.
when Plant win this fight, that shit is gonna be crazy. Motherfuckers gonna be rich because of Plant. They talking about if you bet 700 on Plant to win by decision, that's 23 grand.
God damn.
He's like a minus two. He's like a minus what 2250 at this point.
That's
I
crazy,
mean, no,
man.
he's like a plus. No, I'm sorry, he's like a plus 2250 at this point.
And the thing is
Man.
that we can
And
talk
then
about
somebody say, you didn't learn your lesson from betting on Wilder? Nigga, man, I take risk.
But the
Shit.
thing is, Wilder was supposed to lose all three fights, and
Yeah.
he made fights 1 and 3 very close, and they needed cheating to accomplish what they accomplished. Wilder was never supposed
exactly.
to be able to set foot in the ring with Fury, and he made Fury look like dog shit. How
He
you
got
get knocked down 4 times by a dude with no damn skills?
he got Fury questioning retirement, questioning his whole career after this, man. Those are fights. He took some years off Fury's life, man. I'm telling y'all. And
You're
this
gonna
is
be
the
hearing about
thing.
Fury fucking doing some crazy shit in the future. The punches, man, I don't give a fuck. Warrior or not. That punch that Wilder hit Fury with that had his whole body rumbling like that, nigga, he gonna feel that shit down the line in his later life. I don't give a fuck.
You know that.
Meanwhile, Gabe Rosado is a fucking warrior for getting beat up 13 times, and he's fighting a pussy named Mungia, who is the
Man,
number
fuck
one,
Mungia.
who is the number one in 3 sanctioning bodies with against Golovkin, Andrade, and Charlo, and not fighting for a
Something.
single belt. And you know what people are saying? People are saying they worried about Charlo's level of competition. I'm like, are you saying that a champion needs to earn a fight with a
You know
challenger?
what it is, man?
You know
It's
how dumb you sound?
because they're indirectly telling us how good Charlo and them are. That
Exactly.
they expect much better for them because they know that they're fucking levels above. And that's how you know if Charlo and Andre was to fight each other, bro, all the same people talking shit, they will be the first ones tuning in because they actually admire these guys. Let's be real. They like our fighters, bro.
They
They
love
really
him.
do.
And
Yeah.
I need Charlo and Andrade to whatever going on between camp, because I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I'm from Texas, so I was rocking with the Charlos heavy, just based off that and their skills. But after what Maul said, man, I don't rock with that dude like that no more. It's really his brother, and if his brother come out, excuse me, and say some sucker shit too, then they're just done, man. So he needs to Big Maul needs to go ahead and run it with Andrade. If he knock him out, if he split, I don't care. They need to fight. Bum lucking. He ain't trying to fight them dudes. He just want to sit on his old ass and go fight Murata in Japan. I really hope Murata just beat the shit out of him so he can get his old ass out the way. I know it might not happen, but just get this fucking
Bro,
fake
Triple G's
facade
at a
out of
point
here.
where Triple G's at a point where it's like criticizing him, it doesn't even mean much because it's like we all know he just ain't shit, man. He's not
People,
gonna fight nobody. He might as well make a documentary called Chasing Canelo, like Holyfield's documentary, Chasing Tyson. They need to make a Chasing Canelo fucking documentary. But
people
Even
this
only
time
Canelo
rate
said
him.
you didn't beat the guy.
People only rate him to rate Canelo's career because that's Canelo's best win, and it was a fucking draw and a controversial ass dub. Like when you break down Canelo's career, his best opponent ever is a dude who A was never that good, B who doesn't exhibit extraordinary boxing skills by any means, incredibly one dimensional and flat footed, and C motherfucker say you didn't even beat him twice while you were juicing. You know how embarrassing that shit is from a legacy perspective?
and
And then he
to
wonder why Marquez and them be looking at him. They be and
yeah,
then
funny.
everybody's excuses. Oh, them they just hating. They just hating
What they gotta hate for? Them dudes is greats.
because they
Not
ain't
just
getting no
Mex.
money and no bitches. That's
Oh,
how
Dude,
Canelo fans be on some real shit though.
but what Canelo fans, them Canelo fans be having pictures. There was this picture of Canelo he put on his Instagram, and it was a real sus picture. And I know they got that shit taped up on the wall and shit. Be looking at every time you mention Canelo, they nuts just shrink up and they be like, "Don't talk about Canelo." Ugh.
because Canelo is like, man, like my dude D Hive say, they don't look at their fighter as just, they look at this fighter representing the entire race, man. So if you lose, they gonna, feel like it's an L towards their whole culture.
Because the
But at the
truth of the
same
matter
time,
is, which is unfortunate, but the truth of the matter is, if we analyze all boxing history, that particular group didn't get internationally competitive until probably the early 80s. And to be honest, as far as their top fighters, they produce a lot of boxers, but they haven't produced that many world beaters. Despite how many boxers they produce, a lot of them are B and C level, and there have been very few that have been on
You
the
talking
world
about
stage.
born and bred in Mexico or Mexican American too?
Both, to be quite honest.
I mean, they got the David Benavidez is the,
Come on,
you know
dog.
what I'm saying? They
Come
good,
on,
you know
come
what I'm
on, come
saying? They
on,
got
bro.
who else? Robert
And
Garcia,
oh,
you
come on.
know.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. These are B and C level dudes rated against nobody. They
Who
only
is the
want,
greatest Mexican fighter of all time?
in my opinion, or just like by current social
Just
standard.
like just in general, like in history.
Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez.
I was probably gonna say Juan Manuel Marquez as far as resume, accomplishments, people he's fought, shit like that.
Yeah, he,
Because Cesar Chavez Senior
he.
whole resume is fucking bums, except for like a few
I was
people.
just gonna say that. Like, you can't
They
say who
because what
Cesar
I've been hearing,
Chavez,
I've hearing that he's considered the best boxer from Mexico.
but he went 89-0 against bums.
Literally, fucking cab drivers, people you've never fucking heard of. Basically, his whole resume is what Pacquiao's whole resume was before he went to 135. People don't
Mm.
like hearing that shit, but Pacquiao, not only had he been knocked out by a rice paddy farmer in the beginning of his career, but
Now that we're on the subject, did you see that guy's tweet about Clarissa Shields?
which one? There are literally thousands. Which one?
I guess he got some type of reputation or something. Lalo boxing or something.
Oh
Oh, that
my god,
clown! Give me
that
like
piece of shit. I'm stooping
the
down to his
dog
level from now on, just so y'all
art
know.
art.
And you
You know
see
what's
guys,
crazy?
stuff like that is the reason why there will never be no peace.
Yep.
Art, listen.
Go ahead.
Like I was on Champ side. Shout out to Champ side. I was on his live. He created a pound for pound list, right? This sucker at the Galalo, he he takes the pound for pound list and then he critiques it, puts it on his Instagram. As soon as the next live, he got all these freaking racist Mexican fans calling us monkeys and stuff for the pound for pound list because we didn't have Canelo on.
Oh shit.
Dude,
He's kind of
Laylo,
like how they be getting upset with my pound for pound list, huh?
they get
Yeah,
upset with any pound for pound list that has any black people on it. Like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford could be at the fucking bottom, and they'd be like, "Why the fuck are they there?" But then Estrada and Ioka, people that are either garbage or you've never heard of, can be number one, and they'd be like, "Yep, seems pretty fair to me."
and the crazy part about it is that none of us has ever said Canelo's a bum. He's a trash fighter. He's a good fighter. But with all the controversy and things that go around his career, it's a legacy that's going to be looked at in the future because this is all going to be put into perspective in the future. It's going
Yeah.
to be questionable. They can't say nothing about it. And when
They
Plant beat him on
really,
Saturday or whenever, when is the fight?
Next
Saturday?
Saturday. That
Next
shit
Saturday?
it's coming by pretty quick.
Yeah, when he beat him on next Saturday, it's going to be a whole bunch of slow singing and flower bringing. They're going to be crying. And, you know, you look at Plant and you look at Canelo for their styles. Canelo is a very high level fighter. I feel like Plant he's just disrespected, you know. And they're looking at resumes and all this crap, but it's like look at the style, look at the size, look at the speed, the footwork. And they talk about Plant. Oh well, Plant doesn't have any power. Plant is a natural 168-pound fighter. He's been fighting at that for his whole career. Canelo started at 140. He's been moving up. He's in his
been
prime now, but
been
like
juicing up.
he's been juicing up. Like he hasn't knocked out. He didn't knock out Smith. He wasn't on his way to knocking out Sanders. He knocked out Sanders. But who is Sanders anyways? He's a bum. He's a
Sanders was a
quitter
dumbass who bent the same way 5 times in a row so Canelo could catch him.
with that uppercut.
Yep. He was waiting on it.
And
He threw it. He literally missed it twice before he landed the shit.
And Kovalev even admitted that that was a fake fight, a fixed fight.
Yeah, I remember one day Kovalev must have been drunk or something, but he I don't know. They posted a video of him getting knocked out by Canelo, and he was in the comment section, and he was like, "Man, basically, fuck that shit. That was the real me. I'd have knocked his ass out." Type
That
shit.
was on Blue's Instagram. It's still up.
Yeah,
That was on Blue Blood's Instagram.
He said that the zone promised him 3 more fucking fights if he lost. Why do you think he was lined up to fight Melikuziev until he popped for PEDs? He was Kovalev was about to rob the bank harder than Canelo just did. This nigga was finna fight a dude with 6 pro fights, was getting a shot at fucking Kovalev, and people want to talk resume. He was getting ready to fight him and 2 other bums, cash out into retirement peacefully until he popped for PEDs, and now he don't know what the fuck going on.
Didn't
And
Kovalev get popped for PEDs too?
That's what I said.
I thought you said the other dude got popped for PEDs. Well, they
well,
both did, right?
yeah, they both
No,
did.
not Melikuziev. Melikuziev popped.
No, oh the other guy Beck, whatever Beck the bully, whatever his name is, Beck the bum, the
That's his
dude that
name.
knocked up.
Melikuziev. He popped too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he
prior to
did.
winning, I'm telling you, he popped dirty, bro, and then all of a sudden he just popped back on the scene. I don't know if it's the same person. I don't know.
Wow. And he's fighting. What
Well,
the
because
fuck?
I think because Kovalev popped and Beck was like let him fight anyways, and then Beck popped, and then they brought in I think they brought in Gabe Rosado, and then that's when he got his ass knocked out.
He got fucking demolished. Because and it's funny because people like to talk about people like Wilder's skill set, but then you got niggas like Beck the Bully and Alan Babick and Andy Ruiz out here fucking flailing and windmills and shit. And they're like, oh, such skill. The fuck? This nigga came at Rosado with his hands
And then
down, acting like he didn't know how to
they
punch.
don't even have the knockout power like Wilder too. That'd be the crazy part about it. Motherfuckers be throwing punches all types of gassing out in the fucking 6th round, 5th round and shit. Like, come on, bro.
But when
Like
you talk
Triple G
about
was supposed to be
resumes,
Terminator and then went 12 with Jacobs, who got smoked by Pirov with a
Rob,
single punch, and then went life or death with Derevyanchenko, was getting his ass destroyed. But he fucking knock out dinner rolls, and all of a sudden, all Triple G
see
is a
the thing
Terminator.
is
They
that
brought Danny Jacobs in there to lose against Triple G.
Probably because
because
I
it
don't
made that
understand how
fight
Triple G won the fight.
because cause Triple G Danny Jacobs he never comes to bring he just like I was watching a Canelo fight versus Danny Jacobs and he wasn't doing shit until the later rounds, and then the later rounds he really started piecing he started putting hands on Canelo. Like that wasn't a dominant win as they try to make it seem, because they show that highlight,
Yeah,
and that
even
was
Juan Marquez said he thought Jacobs won, and they got upset. They got super bad when he said that shit.
Yeah, Marquez and Eric Morales. Morales and Marquez are 2 of Canelo's biggest critics, and all of a sudden Mexican fans like, you just mad because you ain't accomplished shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've been
Man,
hearing that. I hear a lot of that. I hear a
Juan
lot of that.
Manuel
They'll
because
say they're
them
just
dudes don't know
jealous.
boxing. Them dudes don't know boxing. They just Canelo fans.
Marquez was a fucking living, breathing smoke machine. That man did not give a fuck. He was like, boy, you think I won't fight you 4 fucking times after losing 3 pack? Yeah, who the fuck is you? And
Then
then
he
on that
knocked his
last
ass out.
time, he fucked up, laid his ass to rest. He fought like
Isn't
his
that
whole.
that's like what's the biggest Mexican win? That or Andy Ruiz versus AJ?
That was probably literally it because there
Yeah,
have not been that many upsets. Like, I mean, maybe when Zab Judah who did Zab Judah lose to? Oh no. When fucking who was the Hispanic dude that beat Meldrick Taylor?
that was Chavez.
That might it's between that
But the
one
thing is that
and Ruiz.
Richard Steele, he stopped that in the 12th round with seconds left. He stopped that fight. If they didn't stop that fight, Taylor would have won that fight. That was
I mean,
that's ridiculous, man.
real talk. But that it's between that and the Andy Ruiz situation. It's between one of those. Is that one or the Andy Ruiz situation? But that's why
Man,
they
that
gave,
dude Marquez had that fucking Manny Pacquiao getting laid out on a fucking cake.
bro.
Shit.
That's some G shit, man. That's dope. That's some.
He laid his soul to rest, man. It was fucked up how HBO gonna sit there and zoom in on Pacquiao family running out the fucking stadium. Like,
He's not
oh
getting
shit,
up,
they
Kim.
killed him.
He's not
They
getting up,
killed
Kim.
him. Yeah,
The
like
fact that he boxed again after that, it's kind of scary.
That is.
yeah,
Like,
he
like I was
got
saying,
out.
it would have been a similar night with EJ. It would have been another man down. They lucky he didn't get in the ring with EJ. Because EJ would have hurt him. He would have hurt him something serious.
EJ would have had Pacquiao like Abel Ramos had Omar Figueroa. He would have been in the corner throwing up his own blood, getting the stretcher out. It was a bad situation. We probably wouldn't even be talking about Pacquiao right now. We'd be fucking talking about, oh, he was a great man and we're gonna build a statue in his honor because he's no longer with us type shit. But he gave his life for the sport he loved. Oh Lord. But yeah, it would have been an absolute fucking slaughter.
Yeah, but man, I'm so ready to see this. I'm ready for Boots, but I'm really ready for Plant because he gonna shock him, man. He gonna do something. He gonna make it because people are saying Canelo will knock him out in 8 and 6. He's not knocking that dude out. He ain't knocking him out.
Dude,
He's not
like
knocking Plant out.
people and again it's like think about the people Canelo has knocked out. He has never knocked out anyone that he hasn't had 20 pounds on.
Think
Again,
about this.
Jacobs, Triple G, like what the fuck?
What elite opponent has he dominated Stockton, man? What elite opponent has he dominated? He ain't dominate GGD. He didn't dominate Lord. He didn't dominate Floyd. He didn't dominate who else he fought.
Bro,
He didn't
he
dominate
didn't even.
Trout. He ain't
Yeah, he didn't really even. I mean, did he even stop Cotto, old ass Cotto, at the end of his damn career? Did he have to go
he
12 with Cotto?
yeah, he went to Abukoto.
He went 12 with 41-year-old fucking Mosley, dog. Like, bruh. Like, who is this man? And it's funny because people want to talk about boxing ability. Can I be honest? Is it just me, or was he losing damn near every round to Amir Khan before he got that shot off?
Yeah, he was losing to it. Amir Khan was boxing his ass off
He was
until he
losing
got hit.
every single fucking round to
But
Amir
it's
Khan until he got that
Amir
shot off.
Khan though. Amir
Yeah,
fucking Khan.
Amir Khan got dragged up from 140 to fight at middle.
147 to 160.
Well, no, Amir Khan used to compete at 140 and actually had his best career down there. That's why he started getting knocked out because he went up too far in weight. But they brought him up to 155 catch weight, just like he did with all the wash welterweights at the end of their careers, and then calling himself a Terminator. Meanwhile, Andrade Charlo Hurd at 154 bombing niggas, and he's like, I don't need a belt right now. I don't need a belt. I'll just wait. And then Andre loses his belt for inactivity,
Then he
and
goes
then
back and fights Liam Smith.
Right. And then what's hilarious is that Benavidez did the same thing, goes to 168, fights that dude's brother. I was telling people today, I'm like, this man has been running the same script on y'all for years, and you just when he farts, you just open your mouth. Like, how does
No,
it
it's
make you
like
feel?
when he's beating his dick, that's when they open their mouth. Cause that's all he doing is just fucking he's fucking these dudes, man. And it's okay to critique him like we're critiquing him because of these are facts. Like and people take out the context of which these events happen and they try to rewrite history, which is a white supremacist tactic, if we're gonna be serious. Like the revisionist history that they try to bring to these conversations. But
Well,
once you
they
look at
think
the
they're white,
facts, yeah, honestly,
or at
they
least
do.
at least they want to be, but they only do it when it's convenient. Like for example, like I said, that's why when David Benavidez was getting out of pocket talking about how he liked Al Heyman and Canelo's a bitch, they got on his ass. They were like, well, actually, you haven't fought anybody, so who the fuck are you? And then he was like,
And
okay, let me go
now he
ahead.
switched the tune. And switched the
Well,
tune
now,
now because he wanted Charlo smoke because he was trying to fight Charlo.
there was a dude on Twitter, another crazy Canelo fan, who was like, you know who could replace? Who was like, who could replace Uskatiki? Andre should replace him. Then he can get a Canelo fight. And I had to remind them, I'm like, dog, Andre could literally box Godzilla's head off, and he would never fight Canelo. It's not gonna matter.
That would
Canelo's
be
made
more reason not for him to get a Canelo fight.
exactly. If he
Yeah,
went up to Benavidez and made Benavidez look dumb, Canelo would be like, oh hell no, nope, you ain't getting shit. We would have to
he
meet
already
at
told him he
cruiserweight,
ain't never
nigga.
getting the fight. He said you're never gonna get the fight. You're never gonna get the fight. Get the fuck out of here, man.
So
Please.
I'm gonna kick your ass right now, motherfucker.
Okay, then do it. Man, do it then.
Right.
Let's
That's
go
what I'm
there.
saying.
Make
Like
the call.
when you say shit like that, where I'm from, it's like, damn, nigga. Okay, let's
It's
see it.
fun. It's funny because people often rate Charlo higher than Andrade, and I'm like, bruh, Canelo might be, and I say might, emphasis on the might. Canelo might be willing to fight and to fight Charlo at 168, maybe. He said he is never fighting Andrade. That should tell you the difference. It's the same. It's the same as like people talk about, Tank and all these people. And I'm like, that's fine, but Tank doesn't have trouble getting fights. Haney has trouble getting fights. They
Facts.
have to
Haney
have
does.
16. They have to have 16 mandatories fight each other just to eliminate the eliminators for the title eliminators for the title eliminators. Because don't nobody want to see Haney. That's the difference.
That's the
Boxers
crazy
get
thing, man. When
like
have you seen
game.
a mandatory? Sorry to cut you off, man.
No, it's all good.
When have you seen a mandatory not want to fight the champion for the belt? What kind of
That
shit is
is
that?
some crazy. Imagine Muhammad Ali was alive and he seen that shit.
He would call them bitches straight out. He'd be like, "You fucking bitches, y'all ain't shit. You don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, he would just say what it is. He'd be like, "Y'all some bitches. To be real, y'all should probably just retire."
Hey,
Talking about anxiety.
you notice? Hey, check this out though. You see how quiet the race fans was when Canelo said Ryan Garcia is wasting his talent and he not
Yeah,
Oh,
really
like
into
they were
boxing?
like, "Oh, like
no
we agree with
pushback.
Canelo. Canelo's speaking facts. Canelo, it's the truth." Like, nigga, we've been telling you this. He faked that shit. You know. That's why when I was, and this ain't more on Tank or Haney, but that's why if I was in their shoes and Ryan Garcia came with that, I would have crucified that nigga. Like, get your bitch ass up. You ain't got no mental issues, pussy. Come and fight me. You faking. You fucking fraud.
Also, that photo with De La Hoya, I didn't see any tape or bandages or anything on either hand. So I'm like, when was that photo taken? Because I'm not seeing any bandages. I'm not seeing any signs of recent surgery on either fucking hand. So when the fuck are these photos being taken? Y'all bringing back pictures from 2 years ago like this nigga's dead? Like when was
Because
that photo taken?
Canelo outed that dude for a reason. He wants to outed that dude for a reason. They're like, there has to be something that's gonna come out from that camp.
Well, so when he pops dirty, he can say, "Oh, it was anxiety. I didn't have confidence in myself to win fights, so I had to take drugs just to get my ass whooped like Valdez, Canelo, and everybody fucking else."
Give me a sec. Y'all go ahead and cook.
It's hilarious because these dudes, again, they hop on these drugs and I mean, they seemingly do worse. Because Canelo alleged.
Hey, you know what it is? Canelo said, "Ryan, you a hoe. He ain't willing to up his dosage.
Oh, you
He
don't
ain't
want to
about that life. He ain't no full blood Mexican."
you
Nah, I'm
don't want to
talking
do what it
shit.
takes. You don't want to do what it takes, boy.
Nah, he gonna because it's gonna be something. It's probably gonna be in these next few weeks. Something's gonna come out from that camp.
I,
Because
I I hope they do. I hope they do pop because y'all look horrible. Your whole stable looks like trash. Valdez pop didn't help him. Canelo pop didn't help him. Ruiz pop. I mean, Ruiz hasn't popped yet. He looked worse.
Why aren't they rooting for Valdez to shut up Shakur Stevenson?
Hell no. That whole fan base went into fucking hiding. They are on hush mode.
They're on hush mode. Do Valdez even have fans? Who
They,
do
I
who do Valdez people want to see him fight next?
It's so funny because when Shakur was chasing Valdez at 126, they were calling Shakur Shakira. Now everybody's like, "Oh, Shakur's a quality fighter. I hope he should fight Tank next. That'd be good." I'm like, "Nah, nigga, what happened to all that Shakira bullshit? What's up
yeah,
with Valdez? Doesn't Valdez smoke
Valpez.
him?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Valpez. Get him in
Valpez
there.
doesn't. Yeah, doesn't
Obviously,
Valpez smoke him? Doesn't he dust him? Doesn't he dust Shakira because Shakira ain't fought nobody? They're like, "Oh, well,
he been
Valdez."
running, man. He been running 126, 130. He might run the 135, man. Because
He
he
gonna run
can't
to
run.
135 and fight who? Ryan Garcia? Wouldn't that be a bitch?
He can't hide no more, man. He can't hide. He ain't got nowhere to go. Because he been running too long. He might fight Navarrete, but don't nobody want to see that.
And
Who
if
want to see that?
Navarrete and if Navarrete fuck around and win, oh my god, do you know how pathetic that's gonna be? Do you
Shakur will
know?
beat his ass too.
Yeah, people say that Shakur dug Navarrete. I'm like, how the fuck Shakur dug Navarrete for fucking herring? Navarrete is literally what's Navarrete's best win? Dog booty. Like,
Hey,
what the
I ain't
fuck are
gonna
we
lie.
talking
He
about?
impressed me that fight. He impressed the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
I
dog
remember
booty.
watching that fight with my pops, and I was telling my pops, I said, "Yeah, this African dude, he pretty decent. I mean, he alright."
That's my point. And he struggled. He struggled beating up
And he
dog
went in
booty.
there and beat dude ass. I said, "Oh shit."
And
Yeah.
don't get me
My
wrong,
pops was like, "This your
Navarrete
guy?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Navarrete got skill. He a big dude. Like you look at him, he's a big. And I thought he was gonna go in and knock Joy Gonzalez out, but he didn't do that.
Yeah,
He ain't knock him out.
Navarrete is a solid puncher with some decent hand speed. To me, he fights like what the fuck is his name? He fights like Gassiev and Breedis down there at the lower weight division. He's a solid puncher, but after that, that's about it. He has decent speed to cut the ring off, but he's got no flashy footwork. You know, his jab is long. He uses it actively, but that's about it. You know, he has some decent work on the inside. But if you get inside on him and start putting combos together, he struggles like he struggled with Joet and like he struggled with Dog Booty. It is what it is. His best win,
calling that nigga.
his best win, and he fucking struggled. He looked like shit, just like Canelo's best win. His best win is a damn fucking L. Like I swear, the standards for greatness when you're not black are basically just like breathing.
They just telling you who the greatest is, though, fam. They just telling you who the greatest is. It's us.
Yeah, because they only.
My thing is I just want to see great fights, man. Like a lot of great fights, a lot of great fighters are up. You know, they're trying to say boxing is dead. Boxing ain't dead. You know how much young talent is in the game right now?
Yeah, boxing more popular than ever because of social media.
It's dead because the future looking real black.
Right.
Yeah,
it's funny because they don't understand.
Real shit, look at the future of boxing. Really look at it.
That's
they don't understand that this racism,
black, though.
This racism creates more black boxers. They don't understand. Like me, like for example, I want to start boxing now. I'm pretty young. I'm not even in my mid-20s yet. I might fuck around and pull some Gabriel's auto level shit. Not really, but you know, I'm gonna get into because honestly, I've always wanted to box. I just never could afford a gym or anything. But yeah, no, like I want to fucking box now. See how far my little skills can go. John Coffey went pro at 29, and he's already fighting on fucking PBC and shit.
You have some kids, you can have your son. Your son could be a boxer. I was thinking like when I have kids, I'm gonna teach mine going to the gym. You don't got to be pro, but just learn how to defend yourself. You know, and if you want to take it pro, you're gonna take it pro, and we're gonna bring him up.
Oh shit, you talking about Navarrete? I give him a little bit more credit now. His punches are pretty solid. Like I said, he's a solid puncher, but his best win he was struggling on. He ain't fought nobody. That's why he's never like he got heat for Shakur, but he ain't got no heat for fucking Gary Russell Jr.
Don't none of them dudes on Gary, man. Gary is a bad motherfucker, man. He's a bad dude, man. I'm telling you, man. Like shit, Loma, yeah, Loma beat him, but did Loma want that rematch?
Hell no. And Lomachenko couldn't even convince every single judge that he won. He got an MD. And it's funny because I put this meme up and I was like, guess who else lost their second pro fight? This asshole. And I put up Lomachenko and a bunch of people
crying,
like,
man. They was hurt. They was hurt, man. Fuck Lomachenko, man. I just want him to get in there with Tank so he can get knocked out. He been ducking Devin too long. He want that Tio smoke, but Tio shouldn't give him a rematch. Fuck him.
Yeah, and Teofimo himself, like, bro. but yeah, fucking Tank will fold. Tank will fold.
If I was Tio, I'd be like, you gotta fight. You gotta rematch Gary Russell Jr. first.
Lomachenko fuck around and retire.
See what Teofimo should do is he should have Loma fight Devin, and then be like, the winner gets me.
Yeah, for actual undisputed.
Yeah, and that's another problem is that they were saying he was undisputed, but y'all talking about the problem in boxing. You niggas are the problem in boxing because y'all are allowing
exactly. You just spoke on it. You just spoke on it right now. You niggas are the problem in boxing. Yep. Because how the hell y'all gonna say there's a problem in boxing but allow all this? Everybody talks about how much they hate the franchise champion, but don't even want to talk about the origin of the franchise champion.
Clean King Convidero himself, Canelo Alvarez. Man, bro, this and it pisses me off, dude, because these dudes are fraudulent, man. You can't take their skills away. If you on anywhere on social media, I've never taken away from any of these dudes' skill, but the way that they move is so it's so faulty, man. It just don't make no sense. You know,
they claim that you shouldn't have respect for belts that you don't fight for. Yet when Lomachenko and Canelo got belts, the franchise championship belts that they didn't have to fight for, those are real belts though. Those are legitimate, and the other ones are the email belts.
The thing about it is when David Benavidez lost his belt, and he was Canelo's fighting Callum Smith. Excuse me, they threw in the WBC belt.
Yep, because they
So
didn't want
Canelo
David.
literally fought nobody for that belt.
Yep, because they didn't want Canelo to have to come see David.
But David is the number one in the WBC, right? Or he was
Uh,
supposed to fight for that spot,
I
something
believe
like that.
I believe he should be number one because I mean, even if it was there, it was like, oh well. It was funny too. People got mad at me on Twitter because I was like, "Oh, David Benavidez should fight David Morrell Jr." And they were like, "No!" And I was like, "Yeah, because you know David Morrell Jr. is gonna run 168."
Yeah, that dude David Morrell is he cold.
He's like Benavidez, but with like more. I'm not saying Benavidez isn't skilled. Benavidez just not polished. David Morrell Jr. will put hands on David Benavidez. Mark my words. He's gonna
He
put hands on
Dominican,
David Benavidez.
right? Or is
No,
he
he's
Puerto
Cuban.
Rican? Cuban.
He's
Oh yeah,
Cuban.
they're Cuban. See, man, they see that's another black Cuban that they're gonna try to get over on.
Oh yeah, he ain't gonna get no fights. David Morrell, they gonna put his ass on ice with the quickness. They gonna be like, oh
Cause
shit. Oh
John
no.
Ryder ducked that man.
Yeah, John Ryder would have got the living shit beat out of him.
The same John Ryder that beat Callum Smith right before he fought Canelo.
Oh shit. Yeah, David Benavidez is number one for the WBC. Well. Ain't that some shit?
Yep, that's very much so. So
You know what's funny? If Canelo wins this, because he's the WBO champion, the first person he gonna fight afterwards is probably gonna be this dude who's the number one for the WBO, Zach Parker, British dude.
oh my god,
British dude,
don't
British
even talk,
dude,
man.
21-0 against nobody.
UK
Another
bum
undefeated
bag. These
Mando.
this European bum bash that he been on. These UK styles that can't fuck with him because they're not. They can't. Can't none of the UK dudes fuck with him.
Yeah, the old Queensberry style. Personally, I think Canelo's going to win by robbery. I think Plant is going to clearly do enough to win, but then still lose. I think it's going
I
to be one of
got
those situations.
I got Canelo getting his ass whooped. 12 round unanimous decision. Plant gonna box his ass off. He gonna box his socks off, man. I don't I don't care what nobody say. Question my boxing knowledge all you want, all that bullshit, but you niggas can't fuck with me. Y'all don't want this. They don't talk boxing, man. It's you can talk boxing and then they'll turn it into something else. You know?
Bro, these the if Canelo lose, all they're gonna do is deflect to Wilder, and it's all right. I'm gonna make memes for that bullshit. But what's crazy is that these are people that thought that Canelo, that 23-year-old Canelo, will fold Mayweather at 36, 37, but then they'll say prime for prime. I'm like, bro, prime. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, so you want to age Canelo like 10 years in the future, but then give Mayweather back 15 years of strength and speed? He would break
And
Canelo's
thinking,
fucking neck.
see, the thing is that, and I was thinking about this, and every time I see that fight, I thought about if that's like saying if Floyd's hands weren't brittle versus Canelo, he would have more speed, like you said, more power. He would stop him.
He
He would
he,
hurt
he
that
would have
man.
stopped him. He would have stopped him in 8. But the reason they don't like that fight is because it's the blueprint. Like I said this on our show, and keep in mind, I'm not. I'm an actual unbiased fan. I'm not. I'm not an ethnic prider. I'm not discriminatory. And the only
But
shit I say on Twitter is response to racism. But
but let me
that
say
fight is the.
this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But go ahead. Well, we'll go ahead after you, and I'll say after you because you finna cook.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that blueprint because Canelo represents the best of them. That blueprint is how you beat them all. I even said it, and that blueprint represents 4 key steps to beating pretty much any Mexican fighter. Because with all due respect, they all pretty much fight the same, unless they're southpaw, and even then they kind of fight the same. And that's and this is how you beat them with no power. Keep the distance with the jab, steady foot movement, if that. Avoid the liver tap, and cover up top. It's kind of it. That's
Mhm.
That's really it. Like if you can do all 4 of those things, you can basically outbox them. You don't need that much speed. You don't need that much power. I mean, look at Triple G. He had pretty much none of the things Mayweather had and did the same damage, if not worse.
Yeah. And I was just gonna say, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm unbiased. I'm very biased towards mine. I speak up for mine. I protect, not protect, but I like my fighters and I support them. So a lot of this stuff of unbiased is just bullshit. And this isn't this ain't a jab towards you family, but a lot of these dudes couldn't sit up here and act like they're unbiased when something happens, that that little lie is taken and is unveiled that it's the opposite, you know. So I ride for mine. I support my fighters. I want to see my fighters win. I want to see my fighters push for greatness. So people might say I don't like Bud, but I'll get on Bud because a lot of these things that are happening towards his career, they don't have to. Because I don't like the way that he's been disrespected by Bob Arum. You know, I don't like the way how people try to make it seem like EJ has to do all the heavy lifting. Like I want to see Bud fight. I wanted to see Bud fight Thurman, try to go for Thurman, try to go for Sean Porter, you know, try to go for Danny Garcia. All these dudes, they're supposed to mix it up, but they're at the top to show you who the best really is. You know,
Right.
and
Well, Bud just comfortable getting a check. I mean, he been comfortable this whole time, and that's why Aram had to actually have the WBO come over. They had to allow Virgil Ortiz to step down some, and then they had to bring in the WBO to actually mandate some because Bud has just been comfortable getting a paycheck. And the only reason Aram making this fight is because he feels that Bud probably beats Porter, and I do too. But that's not saying much.
I think Porter gonna make it harder than people think. Bud's not stopping Porter either. You
No, he's not
know,
gonna
it's
stop
not.
him, but he gonna win.
Yeah, but just to say, it's just I want to see my fighters tested. I want to see them fight the best. I want to see the best fight the best. You know, and to say that I'm unbiased would be a lie because if they can do all this, if they can support their people, if they can rock with theirs, then I'm gonna rock with mine 100%. And you're not gonna sit up here and tell me nothing about it. You know, so yeah, but and I see things for how it is. Like we talking about Canelo like he's God himself. He ain't never lost a fight. Like Canelo was still very beatable. You know, I looked at that Danny
Incredibly
Jacobs
beatable.
fight, and he didn't show me nothing. No separation. You know what I mean? But what I mean by that is he didn't show me nothing that these dudes try to make it seem like. You know, like and the funny thing is that a lot of times I'll see that clip of him doing that of his head movement versus Danny Jacobs in that one segment, and they'll try to make it seem like he just watched Danny Jacobs. He didn't do that, you know. And
Yeah, Danny Jacobs, much like Billy Joe Saunders, did the same thing 100 times in a row, right in front of his eyes. Didn't try to switch up at all, and he looked great avoiding something that he already seen coming at him.
and Danny Jacobs, he don't throw with conviction. He
Are you
doesn't throw
telling me
enough.
Danny Jacobs took the check and went home to Angela Simmons?
I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck about Danny Jacobs because he's never been an A-level fighter. They only rate black fighters highly after they lose to make their people look good. That's pretty much it. Like they'll say somebody's exposed. Jamel Charlo lost, and they don't say Jamel Charlo's exposed. Why? Because he lost to a fucking black dude.
Mm, I
Is
think
is
so too.
is
Yeah,
that simple? Jamel Charlo has lost already. They didn't say he was exposed until he got a draw. He has a whole ass L on his record where he lost a championship fight to Tony fucking Harrison, but they didn't say he was exposed until Castano came in there and got a draw for throwing punches at the last 20 seconds of every round, thinking he was
but
gonna
the
win the
thing
shit.
is that I was disappointed in that fight, and I was disappointed in Charlo overall because of his comments that he's been making about you don't go against your own countrymen, but you're shitting on Wilder. Like, what is your beef with the champ, man? What is your beef with him? And
Yeah,
saying he's gonna
Mella's come back.
and
It is what it is.
like saying Fury's gonna win is one thing, okay, cool, but you doing all this stuff, but to say that about them and you kissing Canelo's ass, you know, and those are the in this and when he was on Champ side made a video and he was just like, oh well, I didn't say this, I said this, all this other shit, man. And it's just like, but this he's basically quoting what you said. He didn't twist it, he didn't do nothing to it, he ain't shit on you, he ain't disrespect you. But you're gonna shit on Champ side and big up another channel, a known racist, you know? And that dude that he bigged up was shitting on Jamel until he had said something like that. So that dude just, I don't know if he took too many punches to the head or what, but he needs to get it
Yeah,
together, man. Because why he ain't
yeah,
trying to run it back with Castano?
you made a good point about the unbiased thing. Like me, for example, Jamel is a fucking scumbag, and I understand that. That's whatever. I support Jamel solely on ethnic grounds because that's a representative of my group. I don't, I take ownership for him solely on some, some black people solidarity shit. Because like you said, I want to see us win. and I respect him as a fighter. As a human being, nigga, shut the fuck up and sit down somewhere. You need to be like your goddamn brother, because you notice how Big Maul is on straight hush mode right now. Cause he's like, cause he saw the hatred he was getting when his name was thrown in with Canelo, and he was like, oh shit, let me go ahead and back up. But he's also seen that no matter what he says about Canelo fans are still never gonna like him. That's why every time you bring up Canelo, you could be talking about Canelo's haircut, and they'll be like, "Well, Charlo couldn't cut his hair."
Facts.
So yeah,
Facts.
so that's why
Hey,
that's
salute to
why
my dude Retros for life. Yeah, we just cooking up, man. That's just funny as hell. Charlo, he do see that. Cause look, even when they was on some like when Charlo was on some friendly shit, like, oh, I want to meet Canelo type shit. There people were still saying things like, fuck that. You guys ducked him. Your brother said you ducked.
right.
Shit like
Which
that.
that's another thing I want to address. So Jamel said that his brother ducked the fight, right? Okay. I have an article that says that De La Hoya said that Jamal never refused any sort of contract, but that's not the point. My point is that same Jamel also said that Canelo ducked them both at 154. So is Jamel Charlo's word trustworthy or is it fucking not?
It's trustworthy when you can get something like that out of him, but any other time they don't listen. And that's what I
Right,
want
because
our fighters and our people to get is that these people aren't gonna like you no matter what you do. So stop trying to kiss their ass. You don't gotta disrespect nobody, shit on nobody. Call it like it is. Stand on your square. You don't never see Wilder disrespecting nobody, but he supports his. He rides for his own, and that's why we
just
love him, and
like
that's why we
But they
ride for
don't want to
him.
go through the same shit that Wilder go through.
they
Wilder
gonna
kind
go,
of reminds me of a I would like to say Nipsey Hussle. Not saying that they're the same people, they both Crips or any shit like that. I'm just saying like they're both people who sacrifice by speaking for our people, you know, and really being about it. And that type of stuff, it comes with a consequence, you know, because shit can happen where the system will go against you openly. And then you can see with fucking with Wilder, we all know Fury got that long ass count, but it's like, dude, they're not even trying to reverse it or nothing like that. We just know that when it comes to Tyson Fury, he's gonna get special treatments, and Wilder, him speaking out only puts a big target on his back, man. And nobody wants to go through that type of shit. They don't want
and
to get look how Wilder was treated when he said he wants to catch a body, dude. Look at that shit.
It's ridiculous.
Look how they already talking about investigating them, all types of shit, man. It's just nobody. I don't think nobody wants to go through the just putting everything on the line, speaking out on what's right.
and what's crazy is I actually like tweeted Shakur Stevenson today. I was like, bruh, because he was talking about some old Canelo pound for pound is the great. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. The people that support Canelo, they were on your ass when you got out the Olympics, already calling you Shakira, talking about how Lomachenko will beat your ass. The moment you started talking about sparring, how they were saying Valdez and Burchell will beat the living shit out of you. They didn't like you from Jump Street, dog. So this magical bridge you're trying to cross, it does not exist. They already on your ass. Why do you think when you mentioned Valdez's name at 126, they called you Shakira? Why do you think they went into fucking hiding right now? They're never going to like you. Why do you think they want to throw you at Tank?
Facts.
Why do you think they want to throw you at Haney? It's over with, bro. You were just born the wrong color. That's what it amounts to. You were literally born the wrong color. You are never gonna pass the fucking test. Dog. Even Herring didn't pass. Why do
Ain't
you
that
think?
some shit though?
Why do you
He is
think they
on the
wanted
same
Stevenson?
record label, the same fucking not record label, same fucking company as Valdez, and they talk about the next person that you should fight is Tank, not Valdez.
But that's
Tank.
just like I was saying. They try to throw a black fighter in that Black Murderers Road shit. It's like
Yep.
when Andrade was trying to fight Canelo and Bum Lumpkin. They throw Charlo at him. When I was gonna call this man Shakira. when Shakur tried to fight Valdez, they throw Tank at him. When Devin Haney tried to fight Tiafimo, they throw Tank at him. They'll throw somebody else at him.
They'll throw
And
Stephen Colbert.
on and on and on. Yeah, Colbert. Yeah,
That nigga who's
yeah, they
getting
throw
touched up.
Colbert.
That dude who's getting touched up by the fucking Mongolian dude that Gary Russell fucking schooled.
Yeah, he washed him. But
Yep, they show is talking about a whole lot of people that's not Valdez right now. Crazy how that works, bro.
Basically everyone black. Why do you think they were perfectly fine with Shakur fighting Herring, but Herring not fighting Valdez? Herring already had a belt. The unification was already there. They didn't want Herring touching Valdez. That's all it was about. It was
If
making sure
Bob
that
was smart, he should have Valdez would have had a better chance of beating fucking Herring than
yeah,
beating
facts.
Shakur Stevenson.
literally he has
But now they made
fucking
us. There's I don't know. These dudes are kind of stupid. They thought they can just I'm gonna just kill two birds with one stone with Herring and Shakur. But actually, it just made your fighter Valdez look even more protected, like the guys claiming, Shakur Stevenson's claiming,
yeah. Because
because it's like, dude,
why
there's
wouldn't you
literally
unify?
nobody else that Valdez should be fighting right now, unless if he's gonna go up and wait and fight the top guys. There's literally only one person he should be fighting right now, and it's the fucking winner of Shakur versus Herring.
Yep.
And
And
that's why I always tell people, I'm like, the reason why you look stupid right now is because you're trying to make racism logical. Racism isn't based on logic. And you can see Bob Arum
it's
went to
based off
Harvard Law
emotion.
School. Yeah, Bob Arum went to Harvard Law School, and his racism makes him, and his trying to cater to the racist casuals made him so stupid he fucked up and made Valdez look bad. Now, if Valdez do anything else but unify, he's going to look like the bitch of the goddamn century. And I find it
They
hilarious
talking
because
about Navarrete.
That's
Nigga, you just
dog
had it,
water.
bro. How the hell you gonna spin Valdez versus Navarrete? You gonna say it's another Mexican war like
that's
the
what they're gonna
greats?
do. They're gonna have an all Mexican card. That's how I heard Aaron was gonna try to have an all Mexican card and have Navarrete fight
And
Valpez.
what's
Because his name's
crazy
not Valdez anymore.
and what's crazy is that if Valpez get in there and look bad or lose to Navarrete, do you know how horrible that's gonna be? Losing to a 126 pounder? Because they shitted on Tank because Tank came from 126. Most people don't know. Tank came from 126 and they shitted on him for fucking beating up Pedraza and beating up and destroying Santa Cruz and all that bullshit. But this man went up and
He beat
went
Pedraza
back
in his
down and
prime.
right, undefeated
You
Pedraza, never
know,
been touched up in his life. Stopped him. The one who gave fucking Lomachenko
Loma.
panda eyes.
Yeah, he touched up Loma for 12 rounds, man. And go ahead.
Oh no,
I'm
no,
gonna
you
cook
good.
on that after. Okay, I was
But
just gonna say, man, and this is the thing that they do is that they try to big up these guys, and once they get dethroned, once they get exposed, it's a whole different ball game. Like like I want to see Tank in there with everybody. I want to see Shakur in there with everybody. I want to see EJ in there and with everybody. I want to see, man, who am I trying to think of? I'm trying to see, uh, damn, what's his name? Uh, I'm trying to see Boots. I'm trying to see Boots in there with everybody. You know,
Boots ain't finna get
that's the
no
difference
fights after
between
this.
us and them. He ain't, yeah, he ain't finna. Cause Sean said he wasn't gonna fight him. You
Sean
know, and
Porter, Sean Porter, the man that fights everybody at 147, was asked about Jerron Ennis. This man said on camera, "Hell nah, I am not getting in there with that young kid." Sean Porter was like, "Fuck no, are you fucking crazy? No, I know how to fight everybody, but I don't give a damn. I'm not touching that one specifically." That says something. Sean Porter has never ducked any smoke, but he ducked Ennis.
he don't want that Ennis work. Ennis is big. He's athletic. He got boxing ability. He can brawl on the inside. His defense, and he hits like I heard he hits like a light heavyweight. So
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a damn light heavyweight,
he
big
going
as
to
hell.
up some. Yeah, he big. Like I say, him and EJ, and they're two of the biggest dudes at that weight. That's why I think it'll be such a good fight because they have the size to match each other and the strength and the power. And that's a 50-50 fight in my eyes. Yeah, him
What?
and EJ. EJ versus Boots is a 50-50 fight right now.
Man,
You
I don't
know,
even see that shit even happening.
I don't
No,
see it
Boots.
happening, but if
Yeah, no. Fucking Arrow will go up to 154
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying. And
beat up
to
those
be
people.
honest, I don't even see Errol Spence versus Bud happening at 147. I see that shit happen
Oh,
at
don't
like
say that.
154.
Oh, that's a
no,
long
I see it
man.
happening.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen the next year. Like I don't. and it's not like EJ ain't been ducking Bud. I don't care what nobody say. He ain't been ducking nobody. So he been sticking to his plan, following it. And Bud's been doing what he does. Um, shit. I could cook on that too, but I ain't trying to hear nobody
So
about.
what makes y'all think that Boots is so good that he can fight Errol Spence or Bud Crawford right now compared to the other guys?
Well, anybody can fight
I
anybody,
see the
but do you
skills.
mean our levels of success? Like his level of success against them?
No, just what you see. What do you see?
I see a lot of skill. I see a lot of skill, a lot of poise, a lot of maturity for a fighter his age. As far as his patience and things like that. I'm not saying he'll beat Earl. I'm just saying it's a 50-50 fight. And I'm an EJ guy. I rock with this man down over here. I'm from Texas. So but I know what I see. So
You think Boots can beat Sean Porter?
oh, of
Yeah.
course, hell yeah.
Bruh, people say Ugas beat Sean Porter. And keep in mind, I think Sean Porter won that fight barely, but if Ugas putting hands on you, Boots will fuck around and tear Sean Porter out the
Really?
Yeah, yes. I think he
frame.
don't hurt. He'll hurt Sean Porter
Yeah,
because he got
100%
the
on that.
size and the skill. He got the dog. I can already see he got dog in him. You know, and just
Damn.
as far as him getting tested, as he gets tested, we're going to see more of that skill. You know,
Because that's what I want to see. I want to see him get tested.
And you know what's funny? Even the people
and
that claim Boots isn't shit, they know he's the truth because every time you mention Boots and Virgil Ortiz Jr. in the same sentence, they get super, super mad. And I'm like, yeah, because you see what we see. You know that Virgil Ortiz isn't gonna do shit but fucking get his ass
And,
beat.
and you know what? Y'all whole I'm listening to what y'all saying, and I'm not saying I disagree or anything like that. But when y'all say stuff like that, it makes me really question the who has he beat narrative. You know
Triple
what I
G
mean?
beat
Because
nobody. Triple
you
G
could
beat
tell. No,
literally
no, I'm
nobody.
saying like in general, like when it comes to fighters saying, "Oh, this guy can't beat this guy because he hasn't beat so and so." My thing is, I feel like us as boxing fans, we got that eye test. You can tell when somebody's good, man. Styles make fights.
Yeah,
and I feel
like
like in
that's
that
why I
same
said Triple
breath,
G beat up nobody and he beat up Canelo. Triple G had fought literally nobody but corny ass Jacobs, and he put all types of hands on the dudes y'all saying is the next best thing since sliced bread. Tiafimo didn't beat nobody but a fucking Richard Comey who lost to Shafikov and a Nakatani who had never fought anybody out of Japan and put all types of hands on your pound for pound number one. So that bullshit again, it's just a deflection resume. What the fuck do that mean?
Because it's not like the resume can fight with you. In fact, you having tough fights with some of these dudes can actually hinder your performance against a fresher, younger guy.
it's also context as well. Context in which these events happen, how these fights get made, how these fights are disbanded, or how these promotional companies move. For me, it's the historical context as well as the skills, because a fight is on two folds, in my opinion, inside and outside of the ring. What kind of preparation you're doing, you know, how the fights get made. Like I said, you know, not just who you fought, but your skills, like where you come from. And Boots is a, a background of a fighting family. You know, he's from
People bring up
Philly. That's a
resume to
fighting.
justify ducking. That's it.
Yeah, that as well. He
That's
comes
it.
from
It's
Philly, and boxing is in their blood, so, and it's not just because of that, but because, like I said, what I see and how he carries himself outside the ring as well. Because you look at Earl Spence versus Sean Porter and what he was doing, and you look at the Earl Spence now, like the more disciplined what he is now versus how he was, you know, and I feel like a disciplined Earl Spence back then, the one that was with Blu-ray, could have stopped Sean Porter. And that's what people were basing it off of when they say, oh, he was going to stop Sean Porter, because, and they thought he was probably going to box more. But even if he was going to be in a dogfight with Porter, I feel like he could have put more pressure on him if he was 100%, because They
Y'all
said,
see the comment?
yeah, I don't.
Lomachenko,
I
nah, Lomachenko didn't do shit for the first
no,
7 rounds. He lost that fight, which is cool because I didn't give a
scared.
fuck about Lomachenko. Like Lomachenko to me was
He was
never rated.
scared.
Lomachenko to me was never rated that highly. If you come out the Olympics to double gold medalist and lose your second fight to a dude with 12 losses at the end of his career, like fuck everything you talking about, dog. Like you got to really beat
Bro, I
somebody
know that
else.
was bad, but you can tell their marketing is pretty good for
That's
them to.
all that's all Top Rank does. They'll find some B or C level person that's white or Hispanic, big them up with the media, and then all of a sudden, try to sell them to overshadow other people. Like
The thing
look at this.
about, I feel like,
Like the motion media video. I think it was motion media, whoever that YouTube channel is. They be like Lomachenko in the Matrix. Bro,
Yeah,
they was saying this nigga's like Sugar Ray Leonard, Sweet Pea, and all that shit. I remember watching all that shit. I was like, bro,
Lomachenko
who the
would get
fuck is this
he would
guy?
get stopped by 135 Floyd Mayweather. He would get destroyed by Floyd
he,
Mayweather.
he would get broke off horrible. Like, and also look what they're doing with Mark Castro over at DAZN. They're taking one out of fucking Top Rank's playbook. Mark Castro has had like 4 fucking pro fights, and they are already giving this
That
kid
big
like
T
full 30 for
motherfucker.
30s, doing his background because he looks like fucking fake ass Elon Musk. This kid is a nobody that ain't fought nobody. Same with fucking Xander
Nigga got
Zayas.
that nigga got horse teeth in his mouth.
Bruh,
Big
this
ass
man
teeth.
get
Bro,
I
I
don't be
just read the
listen.
this
article about Elvis Rodriguez and how they kicked his ass to the curb.
That's
Bro, in the article I read today, they're talking about how they kind of knew that Bob Arum then was going to push him to the side because he's a darker Dominican. And I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
bro, that's fucked up.
you too close to black. Same
But
same as
so,
same as Laura and fucking Ugas. You too close.
Bro, because you got to think about it. The way they was promoting Elvis Rodriguez, they're saying like this guy's could be prospect of the year type shit. And then for him to lose a close fucking decision fight to a fucking black fighter, a good
To a
fighter at
black
that,
dude.
yeah,
they just dropped him like that, like nothing. But then Lomachenko loses in the second fucking fight at pro.
To a guy
and then he
with
loses again
12
to a.
losses. He lost to the fucking Gabe Rosado of that division and lost fucking convincingly. And then the mother and keep in mind, this isn't a Loma with shoulder issues or none of that shit. This is a guy who
I
was fresh
fully
out the
trained, all
Olympics.
that. Went to camp, all that. 6 week camp, all that shit, and lost.
And
Don't
they
make
talk
no
about low
sense,
blows.
man.
I'm
And
like, Angelo Leo was throwing low blows to Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton had COVID, still won his fight. The fuck your excuse?
still beat his ass. And to answer that, just the question on the well, not the question, but the statement on the screen is just like I feel like Loma's scared. He's fought scared for that first 7 rounds. He didn't throw a punch. How you pound for pound number one? You that guy, but you ain't throwing punches for 7 rounds. I said that when he fought, like, and in the later rounds, he was tagging Tio, and Tio he couldn't. I feel like he didn't adjust. He couldn't handle the pressure. I didn't like what I saw from Tio because he was just the way he reacted to getting hit,
He
that's a
got pressed
telltale sign for me.
and he started folding. Yeah,
But Loma gave away 7 rounds. Ain't no way he won that fight. Based off what? You going 7 rounds without throwing punches? And somebody the other guy's throwing punches at you?
yeah.
Man,
And
I'm still interested in seeing George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez. But I
if we
hope
ever
George
get the shit,
Kambosos didn't let off the gas because now he look like he's just like it's whatever.
Yeah.
what Cambosos?
I feel
Yeah,
like I feel like Cambos is gonna surprise people as well. Because he's been training his butt off.
bro, that shit with Teofimo Lopez, man. Dude, you go look at those pictures of Teofimo Lopez. That motherfucker look like he's 154, bro, or something, man.
Yeah, he
And I'm
looks
like,
big in
yo,
those pictures.
if
It's
that
just
fight would have
funny.
happened a lot earlier, bro, you probably wouldn't even make weight. You probably would have lost all those belts on the scale.
It's just funny because I'm looking at how big Teofimo is, and I'm like, man, with your current skill set, if you went to any of the weight classes that you fit into, like 147,
You get
154,
destroyed.
your ass would get folded like some fucking freshly washed panties, my guy. Like you would get
He
fucking
would get
mobbed,
destroyed.
dog. Like even at
That's
140, I'm
because
like,
I
bro, what?
heard. I heard his dad say we're gonna go up to 147 and gonna be a champion. You go up to 147, you getting dog walked. All them dudes
You
gonna
get
beat your ass.
you gonna get fucked up, dude. Even at 140, this nigga think he really about to do something with Taylor. What the fuck you gonna do besides get your ears
Josh
boxed
Taylor gonna
off?
beat the shit out of him.
Right.
Josh
I'm
Taylor
like,
is
man,
gonna beat the shit out of
where does
him.
all this magical confidence come from that you gonna go? First of all, if you're undisputed at 135, you shouldn't get an automatic crack at undisputed at 140 without fighting a single 140 fighter. That's off the top. Second,
He trying to finesse the game though. I can respect that though.
yeah,
He ducking that
That's
Haney
some
right.
Bob Arum top rank magic.
He don't want Haney. He don't want because Haney will beat. He will embarrass him.
This guy really was on some like, fuck it, I want to fight Josh Taylor. I feel like he wanted to cash out,
Well,
but
Taylor is
how?
well,
That's
Taylor
what
is
I don't
actually
understand. Like, bro, I don't know, man. These guys just be scary, bro.
Taylor is the king in his division.
well, he can hurt Taylor though because Taylor during Ramirez, I'm not. Taylor had some moments where Ramirez having some success, and he feels that he has more power than Ramirez. That's whatever. Taylor's still gonna beat your ass though because you just don't have the skill set. Taylor gonna box your fucking
Yeah,
ears off. And it,
To me he don't box that well as people try to make it seem. He's not that good of a boxer to me. He just
no,
has a lot
He's
of
not.
power.
I said he fights
what you
like a
always
poor
call him,
man.
Art,
He fights like a poor man, Devin Haney and Tank.
with that weak ass Philly shell with his
That
right
weak
hand
ass Philly
all
shell.
And they try
his
to
right hand
yeah, he
down
was
at his
just
chest.
he tried to do that shit against Loma in the later rounds, and that weak ass Philly show Loma was tagging his ass.
Was tagging him, bro. And then he know if he try to do a Philly shell against a much taller Devin Haney, he will get his ass fucking popped with the most craziest overhand right.
And left hooks
And the crazy thing
because
about it is that
Haney was throwing the left hook on Linares the whole night. If you leave your fucking right hand down facing Devin Haney, he's just gonna pop you in your shit.
I thought him and Haney were the same height. Haney is taller than him. Keo's not 5'8". He probably like 5'6", some, or maybe David Haney had on some shoes that gave him a little bit of height, but it didn't look like he was 5'8" to me. But that's just
And
me.
you know what's funny is that they give Lomachenko the same credit that they give Usyk that they gave Usyk against AJ that he got against Teofimo because they both look the same when they're facing big slow ass punches with garbage footwork. Like that's all it was. Like when Lomachenko pressed the action on Teofimo, he was getting pieced up just like Usyk did to AJ. I'm like, yeah, Teofimo's a big slow puncher. That's what he is. I mean, his feet are a little better because he's at 135, but he's heavier than everyone else. He's a big ass slow puncher.
Yeah, I feel like him versus Tank will knock him out.
Tank
Him
will stop
versus
Loma.
Devin embarrasses him. Yeah, Tank will stop Loma and Teo.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
And
Who you think will win in the pros? Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney?
yeah, that's when I saw after he fighting Harry. That's what I wanted to see, like in the future, him versus Haney. Him versus Haney, that'll be a good ass fight, man.
Somebody got upset with me because I said I didn't want to see Tank versus Shakur Stevenson right now.
They doing him a favor because Tank will fold him right now. I guarantee you, Tank will. And the thing is people shit on Tank and disrespect Tank like he's not a high level IQ boxer. Like he don't got that IQ. Tank has a high level IQ, and he's a very skilled boxer.
yeah.
He just has a lot of power that comes with that.
They want him to fight Lomachenko, and I'm like, that's fine. But when he knocks Lomachenko the fuck out, what you gonna do? Say he was bullying a 122 pounder? That's all you gonna do when he finishes that child abuse. That would be that fight. All you gonna do is say, "Oh well, Lomachenko was little."
It's
So
gonna
what the
come. Yeah,
fuck?
it's gonna come. They gonna shit on Loma. They gonna shit on Tank after Tank knock him out.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Well,
And
Lomachenko was little."
and I mean it is what it is, man. Loma, he was calling for Tank when Tank didn't have a belt, and he wasn't really coming up. And now that Tank done fought Barrio.
Man, the
Barrio's
casuals
going.
love that one.
Yeah,
Look at Tank scared of Lomachenko. Scared of him. Floyd's scared for his boy. He's scared for his little nigger boy.
Meanwhile,
Why he calling out
Lomachenko.
Tank now?
Meanwhile, Lomachenko fighting Tank leftovers, but all right.
Yeah, nigga. They really give him so much credit for beating Pedraza. But then you sit there and be like, bro, didn't Tank beat Pedraza and y'all wouldn't giving him credit back then?
Yeah,
And
be the undefeated Pedraza.
Tank was working him.
Undefeated, never touched Pedraza, and Batang gets no credit. All right, okay.
Yeah, that's how that go.
Yeah, same with fucking green
And
beans. Same with Gamboa. Fucking Gamboa. Crawford fought Gamboa when he was undefeated. Gamboa beat Salido, the motherfucker that beat up Lomachenko, and Crawford didn't get no credit for Gamboa. The
Well,
fuck?
see, let it be known. You see these niggas. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, dude. Gamboa beat who? He beat was Salido, and Salido beat Lomachenko. But
Yep.
Gamboa gets so much shit today. Crazy.
Gamboa. It's funny because if you count losses, Gamboa got a better resume than some of your favorite fighters. You can say what you will about Gamboa, but
No, they
Gamboa.
they no they count losses because according to them, losing to Floyd Mayweather is the best thing since sliced bread.
Right, this niggas. It's amazing how it is when you're not black, you can be rated for your losses. It's craziness.
Bro, I'm telling you, I went to a video of Canelo losing to Floyd on Instagram, and the top pinned comment is, "Dang, Canelo learned so much from this."
all
Nigga,
them
It's
fuck all
Instagram
that.
pages are trash, garbage. All them boxing pages are garbage.
I
it's
know,
either it's
super
either
fucking
that or he
garbage.
was too young. He was too
Yeah,
young.
But then
Canelo was
praise Mike
40 and
Tyson in
0
the fucking same breath.
Yeah, but then they want to throw
because
Virgil
he was
Ortiz at
40.
Crawford though.
Mike Tyson was the youngest heavyweight fucking champion.
What was he 19?
Tank beat for Georgia, he was like 20 something in his early 20s. Shit.
Exactly.
Tio's like
Yeah,
23, right? And he just beat Lomachenko, the quote unquote pound for pound number one. But Canelo was 40 and 0 and he was a champion when he fought Floyd. It's just levels that Floyd is Floyd. And shit.
yeah.
Said
They've never.
Tio got knocked out by some dude in David Benavidez camp.
Oh
That's
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
he got
the El
Jose
Rayo.
Venezuela or something like that.
Yeah, El Rayo. He
And the
got
They
dude
got
not
smacked.
even known for no crazy power or no shit like that.
Dude, what are we talking about? Tank beat Teofimo's ass in sparring already. Tank already ran through his camp.
I heard that Devin Haney is the fucking sparring king.
I
yeah,
heard that
I
Devin
heard he
Haney
put some hands
stopped
on
Tank in
Tank.
sparring.
Oh no, I heard he
What?
put hands. I heard he put hands on Tank. I heard he
Go
put
on
hands on
Dante.
Tiafimo too.
It was on yeah, but it's on Dante's Boxing Nation and Ike TV. Like Haney literally says, I fucking stopped Tank in sparring, and Haney, and Tank just he goes, man, like nah, that's cap, and I'm like, ooh, that wasn't convincing, Tank, because if somebody, because if
Hey,
somebody,
shit. Hey, shit happens, nigga. You be having bad days in sparring, bro.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
real shit. I'm not saying that sparring is the pros, but I'm just like Tank. Hey, that's
Or he could have Tank could have went in there thinking he finna spar a certain level of competition and get surprised by a nigga that was just ready.
But dudes know how skilled Devin is. Dudes know Devin is that dude. Everybody know
yeah,
Devin. Just like everybody know Tank. They them dudes, man, and they
Man,
know
my
what's
because
up.
fear is if somebody makes Tank look like a short man, that's gonna be bad. You know what I mean?
like if
Yeah,
somebody get in there and like bully him or something,
No, like I'm saying, like somebody goes in there and like uses the jab and just has it where he can't even close the distance.
that's
you
gonna
got to
be
be a
a
special fighter to do that. That's gonna be
Devin
a beast,
Haney.
man. Yeah, because Mario Barrios is a big dude. And I'm not saying that Mario Barrios is like the goods, but he ain't no chump.
yeah. He became a chump though when
And
the Tank fight was scheduled. They all threw him in the garbage.
yep. But you already know, man. Once a certain fighter gets to that, they become garbage. You know.
Yeah, like Luis Ortiz, he's garbage, but you know damn well even when you put your favorite fighter in there, they don't want it. They don't even
Don't
want
Some niggas
Ruiz
want him.
with fucking Ortiz, but
Don't
they
none of
say
them
he
nobody.
niggas
old.
want him,
Yeah, it was fucking
man.
Ruiz trying to
If he
fight Charles fucking Martin, Prince Charles Martin. My God,
I thought they're supposed to be coming up with a Ruiz fight right now.
it's gonna be Charles Martin. They just haven't announced it yet. Bet money. Like watch, because they're trying to make it seem like we're deciding between Martin and Ortiz. You ain't finna fight
oh
no
yeah
Luis Ortiz,
yeah
nigga.
this comment on the screen. I heard that Bill Haney and Adrian Broner they bet like 10 stacks or something like that, and Bill Haney won because Devin was putting hands on Tank.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Coach Calvin said that Tank got stopped by Dev in sparring. I didn't
Oh
see
shit,
that.
Coach Calvin admitted it.
Yeah, you see that comment right there from Steven?
Oh, okay. Even Tank Trainer said, "Damn."
I
Well, I mean,
I gotta look I gotta look that up.
I don't. I mean, they're gonna fight eventually, so we got to see. But they're definitely both
Yeah,
gonna get their names up some.
just know the conversation we have, we're gonna have it in the future.
Yeah,
Oh, most
they're gonna fight
definitely.
at some point, but they
Because they're
both
gonna
probably
talk
want.
about, yeah, yeah, I whooped him in sparring, and then, Jim Gray on him. It was rumors that he stopped you in sparring.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, because they're gonna want to keep Haney away from Ryan Garcia, from Tiafimo, basically anybody that's not black. They want to keep all the black fighters fighting each other while praising everybody else for fighting absolutely nobody. Lomachenko could beat up
Man,
Tiafimo
don't talk about.
leftovers.
And they're gonna try to force that rematch from him and Tia Female because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to force him to fight him again, and it's just like, man, let that go.
Yeah,
It's
like
your
no
fault.
nobody really wanted to see it the first time. That was pound for pound number one fighting allegedly, and that bullshit didn't even make pay-per-view. Like, bruh, like no, like this man can't sell
Facts.
out a Home Depot parking lot. Like nobody gave a fuck.
And they're crazy because Tio was talking about, I'm the A side against all these guys because I
The
got all
ace.
the belts. That's not how that works. And all these suckers talking about, oh yeah, because he got all the belts, he's the A side. Do you do like that's not how that works. You like
Again, it's just
like
more
you
duck talk.
yeah
Resume, A side, blah blah
yeah.
blah. It's like and then or don't price themselves out. I'm like, how can the person who brings all the money to the table price themselves the fuck out? Like
Persons
it
facts. It's like
shit don't make
you the
no
B
sense.
side.
Fucking
Take what you're gonna get, man, and fight.
yeah, like
And
look
then the rematch, you become the A side or whatever, or whatever,
yeah,
and
like,
you
look at
become the
JoJo
money man
Diaz.
when you beat that person.
Look at JoJo Diaz.
Man, don't see me started on that chump.
He was trying to make it seem
He
like the
trying to make it seem
negotiations.
like
Yeah, he was trying to make it seem like the negotiations about the bread was fucked up. Meanwhile, Devin Haney came out clean, said you're getting more from me than Garcia. So what the fuck is the problem? And he's like, oh, man, this
he don't
bitch
want
want a
that work.
rematch. This bitch want a rematch. I'm like, he's the
He be
champion. He
talking.
gets a rematch.
What happened? Okay, man. See, I don't want to talk about it because he talking all this big shit like he that guy. Like, dude, sign the contract and fight. That's all. That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah, I guess he thinks that his Javier Fortuna win. I guess he thinks that we gonna forget about how he got pieced up by a Russian barber. He got a draw against a nigga nobody ever heard of before in their life. And I watched that fight. I think
Fortuna
he
ain't want to fight Haney.
literally Fortuna was trying to fight Ryan Garcia until Ryan Garcia decided was scheduled to fight crippling anxiety.
Fortuna ain't want that Haney work either. I saw a video that said his manager said like, nah, that's not the fight that we wanted.
Of
So
course not. Fortuna is never. I've never rated Fortuna that highly as a puncher or as a fighter. When he
Me
gets
neither. And when I told people that, they're like, "Bro, you tripping?" I'm like, "Hell no! I
who,
didn't see this motherfucker roll out the ring pretending like he got hurt against Granados. I ain't forget that shit."
bruh, I put Fortuna, JoJo Diaz, and like people like Better Biev all in the same fucking category. They're pretty much power punchers with some boxing skill that start fighting dirty when they get desperate. That's basically it. Like when Tevin Farmer finally started to put some combos together, he had to start holding him and punching him, and he got desperate, especially after he got cut. Same with fucking Gary Russell
he didn't
Jr.
give
He
Tevin
tried
Farmer his rematch.
exactly. He tried to do that with Gary Russell Jr. It didn't work out because Gary Russell Jr. is too slick. He had to fight Tevin Farmer dirty. Him and Fortuna both fight dirty as fuck, so that was whatever, and he barely won that shit. So yeah, Fortuna's never been rated that highly. They just thought he was someone that could beat Devin, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Based off of what? What has he accomplished? What has he done? Who has he beat? Nobody. Like he hasn't looked good against anybody, and he's been wiped out by fucking bums. The fuck?
And see, the thing is that there should be no reason for Tiafimo. I call him Tiafimo because he be acting like a female to be ducking the work from Dev. And it's like, dude, you're not undisputed. He has the last belt. Go to him, get the last belt. If he's a bum, if he's all this trash and all this stuff, go get that belt, and then you go do whatever because you're gonna be undisputed. But they know what's up. He know Haney going to embarrass him. But I
Go
still
get
want to
the
see it.
belt. Go get the email belt.
Facts. When
So, what does
he
this mean? Does that mean from here on out, whoever fights for the belt, it doesn't matter because it's an email belt? Is that what people are saying? Or it's just an email belt when somebody black got it?
The second one.
the funny thing about it is that he had to email Mauricio Sulaiman to get that franchise title.
Yeah, to get it transferred from Lomachenko because at first it wasn't transferable, but then they found out, oh, well, this Hispanic boy has a good shot, so we should make it transferable. Also, one of the reasons
Facts.
people don't want to realize one of the reasons that Tiafimo took a pay cut was because they offered. Are you playing Fight Night? Yeah, it's because they offered to make the belt transferable for him to agree to the fight. Because at first he was complaining about the bread, like he was really worth something. But they threw in the franchise so he wouldn't have to see Haney. And then he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll take the pay cut thing because I don't ever want to see that nigga." Because he left the WBC to avoid Haney.
That 4-man tournament that they were supposed to be in, because
Yeah,
Dev
literally.
fought that Russian dude, and he was supposed to fight. Well, he was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna. It was supposed to be Dev, that Russian dude, Akhmadalov, whatever his name is. It was supposed to be Tifimo and Javier Fortuna, I believe. And Dev fought Akhmadalov. Tifimo fought what's his name? He was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna, but he dropped out.
Yep. He said, I know I'm gonna get past this dude, but I'm gonna have to see Haney, and I'm never gonna get to Loma through that. And I always tell people, I'm like, y'all, if fucking Haney wasn't that guy, he would have two L's, one from Tiafimo, and then one from Lomachenko.
One from Loma, because they would both try to fight him. And the
Yep.
comment on the screen from David Thomas, Tio, there was a live that he said, "Oh, quit." In the comments, they were like, "Yeah,
Oh, you cut out.
Nah, people saying some crazy shit, man, on Twitter.
Oh, right
Um,
now.
no, my bad, my bad." It's just, it was
What the hell's
he
happening on
was
Twitter?
saying like they were like in the comments, they were like, "Oh well, just quit ducking Devin," and then this nigga Tio female, he comes out with a Daffy Duck cutout and like, "Yeah, I'm the biggest duck. I'm ducking Devin. I'm ducking Tank. I'm ducking all these guys." And so
Literally,
yeah, and then
the
he want to act like we didn't see that.
the truth had him
he was a
cracking
weirdo,
at
man.
the seams psychologically. He was struggling to come to terms with his own reality, which is craziness.
It's like, dude, we want to see you. If you can beat those dudes, we want to see you succeed. We want to see you fight these dudes. We don't care about the winners. I want my favorite fights to win, but I want them to be tested. That's how you know you great is when that adversity is hitting your ass. So
Like you supposed to be fighting dudes breaking the sweat. Some of these dudes, they be straight up bums. You don't even fucking get a full workout fighting these guys. Like why
exactly,
Canelo versus Yildirim, the fucking ring walk was longer than a fucking fight,
that shit
and
Because
this
was
is your mandatory
they
top
knew
of
the
the
fight wasn't
top,
gonna be shit.
top of the crop.
that wasn't even his mandatory. He asked Mauricio for that work because that's his sparring partner. You find your sparring partner under the lights, man.
It's not even that deep. I always tell people, when is the last time the WBC has mandated someone to a mandatory title shot after a loss? When? And they can't say shit because it's never happened.
And I was there when he got that fucking loss at that
Who he
right here
fought?
in
He fought.
Minneapolis.
Who did he
Darrell.
fight? Yeah, I was gonna say Darrell. Darrell knocked him out, right?
Yeah.
Trash, man. I didn't even watch that. I didn't even seen I seen the highlight, and it was just like, man, get this shit. This can't be the pound for pound number one king, can it? Like, is this your king? And they'll be like, yes, that is our king. Like, nah, man.
And that's the difference between the energy. When Wilder was in the situation and he was looking for some marquee opponents, he pulled Tyson Fury off the bench and said you could have a shot at your belt. Canelo could have done the same with Benavidez and did not have that same energy. That is the difference.
And that's the thing that made me like look at this dude. Like he said, you shouldn't have missed weight or whatever he said. Like, man, what kind of sucker talk is that, man? This dude's a sucker. That don't make no sense. You shouldn't
Yeah.
even like that don't even make no sense, man. But yeah, I'll be surprised if Tio gets past Cambosa. I have a feeling that Cambosa's gonna knock him out. Like
And
like it's
honestly,
not
I
gonna be
think
what these people think.
I'm not sure he's going to stop him or anything, but Cambosa's winning wouldn't shock me because Cambosa's, in my personal opinion, pulled out his last two fights. And like for example, when he fought Mickey Bay, he got a surprise knockdown, and that's what won him the fight. So that happened. And also when he fought Lee Selby, some people thought that he shouldn't have won that fight, but he managed to pull it off. So that hand speed, and that quote unquote ring activity can fool a lot of judges, like Oscar De La Hoya did with Pernell Whitaker. And it's funny too because Cambosa's, he's supposed to be a break for Teofimo. He's supposed to be so Teofimo can get some rest. And he might have fucked up by taking all this time off, not being focused, trying to cut weight, talking all this other shit, blah 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 blah. But yeah, we gonna see, and just like
Yeah, we gonna
Benavidez,
see. But it's just because Cambosis is he had been Pacquiao's sparring partner for one time, if I remember this correctly.
yeah, he was.
He has sparred with Pacquiao, so it's obviously sparring, not fighting. But you gonna pick up some things sparring with somebody like Pacquiao.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
So
Teofimo can't even handle fucking sparring. Getting knocked out by motherfuckers who
dude's a
just
sucker,
started.
man. He's straight sucker, man. I just don't like the way he move, and that's a lot of these fighters. They move funny. It's nothing personal against these dudes. I don't know none of these dudes in real life.
And they
It's
mad at
just
me on Twitter. Why y'all not claiming Teofimo? He's American. I'm like, nigga, that
What
nigga
the
is
fuck?
Honduras to me.
Yeah, I thought he was Puerto Rican with him and his dad saying nigga because Puerto Ricans always want like some. Puerto Ricans are weird. They always want like some weird black association, and when you don't let them, like when you don't invite them to the barbecue, then they become like KKK. So it's like I don't know, like
that's
y'all are on the
in my
fence.
opinion. Some of them dudes, like a lot of them, are always like that. They they want to be around us, but they show their true colors. And they really racist, you know.
Yeah,
That's how a lot of them are,
they want to have
and
our
I don't rock with that.
creativity. They want to have our creativity, skill, and ingenuity without having any of the social cost that comes with it. They want to be able to have the attributes of black people without the social fucking backlash and social responsibility of black people, and that's not how it fucking works. Like, look at Anthony Joshua. He
Not at
was
all.
living that. He was living that life exactly until the nigga lost, and then he got reminded,
Now
"Hey,
look at him. He want to be he want to be a crip. You know. He want to be where Nipsey and them at, man. And this clown
And
dude.
look, and then with that, somebody DM me today and was like, why? He's from the UK. He's like, why are black Americans laughing at AJ right now? I don't understand what's really going on. And I'm over here trying to explain to him like, yo, it's the fact that we know he's not down for the culture like that, but him trying to be like it, it's fake, and we're calling it out, and it looks funny. And he was just like, well, what if Wilder said the same things? And I said, if Wilder would have said the same things, it really wouldn't matter because we know Wilder's from here and Wilder's been around that shit before.
But the thing
Come
is
on now,
that
this shit's
the fact
it's
that
not no fake, and Wilder, it's not even in Wilder's character to say some
I
stupid
was
shit
just gonna
like that.
say that
Anyways,
he lives here. He knows that stuff. He wouldn't try to portray nothing like that. That man is a man of character.
exactly.
yeah,
AJ is a clown.
he knows where his fan base is. Like Jamal Charlo had to figure out the hard way, and like Jamal's gonna learn the hard way. Except we're not gonna be there to catch you when you fall, nigga. You better win on your own, and then
Yeah.
you gonna fucking lose on your own.
Hey, that
The
nigga
thing,
Ego said something funny as hell. He said when AJ said, "I need to go back to the streets where I belong." He said right then and there, I knew the streets is not where you belong, nigga. Just the way he
Right.
fucking said that
the
shit.
streets of
Nobody from the
Dumbledore.
streets.
Because
Nobody
nobody
from
in the
the
street says
streets
that's
wants
where
to
the
go
fuck I
back to the
belong.
streets. Yeah, that's dumb as fuck. Like
Nobody in the streets wants to go back there.
Yeah, I'm from LA. Don't nobody really want to go to the like. I went from the parts of LA that are not sexy to the parts of LA that are sexy. Let me tell you, the parts of LA that are sexy far exceed LA that you see on TV. So fuck all that. Fuck what you talking about. I am not trying to go back to that bitch.
And I was just gonna say, see, when Mel fight, I'm too broke and I'm crying in my car because I can't pay for his fights, man. That's how I am.
Exactly. I'll be streaming the fuck out of it because I ain't got no money.
Yeah,
Got no money for your
and
ass,
you
dog.
only made 300,000 on the Castano. That's only how much revenue y'all brought in. You ain't the money man, dude. You don't got the moves like that. And for you to sit up here and down us because we supporting our champion, you know, and you one of us. That's some clown shit, some coon shit, you know. And that's why I look sideways at a lot of these dudes on Twitter and on the internet in these boxing communities because to me they just seem to go against the grain just cause, you know, because they think that shit is cool or they'll get
No,
accepted. Like,
no, that's the thing. That's the scary part about the new boxing culture. They're going with the grain. Companies like Top Rank and DAZN are wholesale feeding the casual racist narrative. So they're going with the grain. They're trying to make us look like we're going against the grain, even though we're the only people seeing facts. So basically, it's like how do you say? It's like gaslighting. They figure that because everyone believes one thing, that thing is the fucking truth. Like and I try to tell people, y'all talk about conspiracy. I'm like, do you realize that everything you believe today at one point was some form of conspiracy? Like, look at fucking Watergate. Do you think that Nixon and them really thought that the White House was fucking bugged? They were like, nigga, ain't nobody listening to shit up in here. Man, I'm the president. Ain't nobody got no microphones and shit up in here. The next day when he saw his dumbass on the newspaper, oh fuck, hey Nixon, you might have to go, bro. So everything was
but
a fucking conspiracy theory at one point.
the thing about a lie is that it can become the truth if a bunch of people believe it. So you know
And
that's
that's
why you
what
gotta
they're
stay
going
on
with.
this. You gotta stay on the path, man, because a lot of this stuff in context of history is gonna be totally different from what we see it now because we're gonna have all the facts. You know,
Yeah, and
and
I feel like when fighters get older, they'll just start slipping and admitting shit openly, and then they're gonna hope no one's gonna care. Like people like Tyson Fury, if he lives to see like 60, I think he'll just be on a couch one day, get online, and be like, you know what, I did cheat him. To be quite honest, yeah, I cheated him. I cheated him because I was scared, and I knew that he, it would be. I needed the win from a country. Like he'll just go off and be like, yeah, here's what we used to do back in the day. Like he'll be like that dude that he got the dipping his knuckles in oil from in petrol in motor oil. He'll be like that guy.
yeah,
He'll be on camera one day just admitting shit.
yeah, I used to dip my hands in petrol for about 20 minutes, make me hands hard as a rock.
Yeah, exactly. He'll just one day just like the either the combination of guilt because that's the thing. That's the thing about psychopaths. Psychopaths, especially those that want to kill a lot of people, they're usually narcissistic and they want to take credit for their crimes. Like if someone like a serial killer who's gotten away with a lot of murders, at some point they want people to know how brilliant they are. Like, look at me, I'm killing all these people and no one's catching me. I deserve credit, and then they start fucking up.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that what was I gonna say? The thing about Fury is that, yeah, the thing about Fury is that a lot of people will try to say, "Oh, don't listen to Fury. He's just shooting the shit." You know, he doesn't mean that. When Fury is telling you the truth, it's that you niggas are trying to make it seem like he's just shooting the shit. Like he's telling y'all the truth. Y'all try to make it seem like he's joking. And
Yeah, he
a lot of
and
these
that's
dudes, man.
the benefit of being white. Like he knows that he has the ethnic past, so he can literally say whatever. He could be like, "Yep, I tried to kill Wilder straight up. I tried to kill him because I didn't know if I could beat him." And they'd be like, "No, he's exaggerating. He's been on drugs for years. He's had issues with alcohol and cocaine. He doesn't know what he's talking about." But when he says Wilder's a bum and can't fight, yeah, he's completely 100% sober. It's like, all right, okay.
But he'll say Wilder is one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport, and the only man that can beat Deontay Wilder, or the only man that can beat Tyson Fury, is him. They're one and two, you know.
And then people will be
And
like,
so,
"Nah, he'll get fucked up by somebody else."
not Usyk,
Yeah, bro, not
not
only Usyk,
AJ.
not only Usyk, but people still saying that fucking Ruiz could be Wilder. Like to this day, people are still saying that
Ruiz
Ruiz
will
could
get
fucking,
sparked.
bruh.
Ruiz
Literally,
got knocked down by a dude that Wilder knocked out
he got knocked down
years
by a
ago.
dude that, he got dude that he got knocked down by a dude that fucking Stavern stopped. Stavern.
Facts. It's crazy, man. Because it's like,
Literally, Bermain Stavern not only beat Ariola's ass clean in the decision, but stopped him when they fought again. Fucking Ruiz, the power puncher, couldn't do that. But fucking Wilder beats Stavern when he's a champion. He gets no credit for it. Meanwhile, Stavern out here stopping fucking people Ruiz struggling against. But Wilder ain't never fought nobody. Okay.
see, man, it's AJ. They should have fought, man. AJ should have stopped ducking. Could have had one face, one name. That's his fault. Him and Eddie Heard's fault. Wilder was willing to take 15 million flat, you know, and they tried to sign him. John Skipper said when we tried to sign Wilder, when we couldn't get AJ in the contract, we knew we messed up. Something along those lines because they couldn't guarantee AJ, so he didn't sign that $100 million deal that they were trying to pitch to him.
Well, I
And
mean,
that's all he
honestly,
really wanted.
the story is simpler than that. AJ said, "Okay, Wilder, you want to fight? Bring me $50 million." Wilder said, "Bet." Came back with his manager, said, "We got the 50 million. What's popping?" And then all of a sudden, AJ caught a stutter and was talking about some damn, well, there's this and that, mandatories, and I don't
He
know about the
said
deal.
he said no. The thing about AJ there's a video. I think Art reposted it on Twitter or something. He did something like that, but basically AJ was saying, "Oh, the 50 million was a generous offer, way too generous. I never thought something like that. Oh, that crap, that bullshit, man." Basically admitting that he got the 50 million.
Yeah, it's all duck
Man,
talk. He
get
said
out of here,
he,
man.
yeah, he said he had the money. Truth is, he just didn't want to get knocked the fuck out, especially losing to an African American. Because British boxing history, for the most part, half of it is black anyway. But they try to not
Yeah,
count, that part. But you losing to Wilder, oh shit.
the greatest British fighter is Lennox Lewis. One of the
Yep.
greatest British fighters is Lennox Lewis. The greatest heavyweight in Britain is Lennox Lewis. Well,
Yep.
so. But the
Yeah, because
thing about
he
Lennox
beat
was he wanted
washed
smoke
post
with
prison Mike
everybody.
Tyson.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
and
And it's funny because when you point to that, people forget that he got stopped by Oliver McCall, who was nobody, and
yep,
he took Hakeem Rockman as a joke and got his shit blown out, got popped and got
yep, that's true
fucking
too.
got slept.
And in fact, David Thomas, AJ will never make 50 million a fight now. Clown, look at him. He get
Yeah,
I can't. But oh my god! And the thing about AJ is that Usyk fight made me so mad is that this dummy is giving up his size and reach, and he's trying to box the better boxer, the smaller dude. Man, if you don't rough this dude up and stop him,
yeah. But it's
I
funny
don't
because
know what it is with that dude.
people talk shit about AJ for his fight, but forget that fucking Tyson Fury got dropped by little ass Steve Cunningham from cruiserweight, who fought at cruiserweight after
Facts.
coming down from heavyweight. He got leaned horrible and damn near lost. It was basically like Lomachenko versus Linares with the Fury versus Cunningham, because Cunningham was fucking piecing Fury up until he got the stoppage fighting dirty. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was a dirty ass stoppage. The way he
Yeah,
stopped him was dirty.
he was holding them, hitting them, throwing elbows in the clinch, like all kinds of crazy shit. He was fighting like fucking Rolly.
I don't want to talk about Rapist Rolly, man. I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about that dude.
neither does neither does
Get out of here.
Leho neither does Leho boxing. All of a sudden, there's no massive article about that shit.
Sucker. That dude's a sucker as well.
Rolly got 5 whole ass cases against them pending now. And I'm sorry to say, forgive me for saying this, Art. I don't wanna reduce the quality of your channel here, but Rolly finna go down over some like super low budget hoes. Like I saw the profile picture of one of them, and I'm just like, dog,
Yeah, I saw that.
you really about to fuck up your life over some fives, and you supposed to be a baller. Like, I'm not saying you should harass any women whatsoever, but if you're gonna be a moron, god damn, at least try to get somebody with like millions of subscribers on Instagram or something. You over here trying to fucking push around like chicks you can find that work at Jack in the Box, like bruh. Like man, these are. I'm sorry.
That's
I looked
that's
at the I looked at the profile picture. I'm like, nigga, you really, my nigga, you really fucked up your whole career over some regular old bust downs. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, wow, you
and
really
he
about
and
to
the
go
crazy
to
part about it is that you could have them doing that for free. You don't
literally,
gotta force them to do nothing. So he's a and the way Rolly talks and the way Rolly just acts, I know he was that a clown, but I didn't know he was that level of a clown, like a weirdo like that. He's
I
just
mean,
a
you know,
goofball.
dudes with lisps can't get that much pussy unless they build like Mike Tyson. So he's like, yeah, baby, I'm a professional boxer. I'm getting ready to fight Tank. I'm gonna knock his ass out. Like, ain't nobody really.
Shit. Hey, y'all talking about Rolly? My bad, I had to
Yeah,
take a little break. I was eating.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
man.
talking
Rolly,
about
yeah. This
freaky
my
ass.
first. I might be the youngest guy on pay per view. Like, man, get your sorry ass out of here, man. You
Yeah,
chump. I
and all I was saying, in case you didn't hear me, Art, was that Rolly about to ruin his life because I saw a profile picture of the one chick that like has the most dirt on them allegedly on Twitter, and I'm like, man, this dude's about to ruin his life over some low budget hoes, like some chicks that you could easily run into on the street, like some chick like if you passed her in CVS, like you wouldn't even think twice. I'm like, wow, bruh, like not
And
even
that's
so.
why he thought he could just deserve to get some pussy because he like, man, these bitches ugly. Just let me fuck. They ain't let
but
him
the
get it.
crazy
That's
part
hey
about it
man.
is art that you'll find some girls that'll do that for free, you know, because they want the
I
clout.
know.
They want the
Trust me, I
clout.
know.
And
I mean, how
it's
much
just
clout you
like
getting
this
off
dude is trying to
Rolly's
force
lispy ass?
these butterface Beckys to do this, man. You
Nah,
know, so
they
he's
was
a
his own
clown.
people. They was his own people. They were Latinas. He trying to fuck up his own.
You know, they white though
My thing is
technically.
why they
So
run to online rather than the police.
see, I don't like getting into conversations like that because it's just I don't know, but
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't like getting to them conversations either.
I
they'll
really don't mind the conversation because I don't like the fact that you can't hold women accountable for lying, but I also don't like the fact that not enough people are reporting Rolly. Because it was funny because
yeah,
when Mayweather was allegedly in some shit, it was front page news. When De La Hoya was in some shit, no one talked about it. When Tank was allegedly in some shit, front page news. Now that Rolly's in some shit, all of a sudden all the major bias channels don't want to talk about it. So I'm like, why isn't
because
ESPN
that's they
reporting on
own.
this? Yeah, so so I don't mind talking about it. Let's keep it real. Could this chick be clout chasing? Absolutely. Rolly is a nobody in boxing, but he's got
Yeah,
more money than most people in the country. So could she be clout chasing? Sure. Could Rolly also be a piece of shit?
because
That's the
especially with
more
this tank fight, yeah,
yeah, that's
that's
that's the
more
more
believable.
believable.
I believe
Yeah,
that
that's
more.
more yeah, that's more believable Rolly being a scumbag. So right now I'm on nobody's side. I'm definitely not on Rolly's side. I'm personally think he probably did that shit. But she's showing
I
texts
think he
and
did it.
nothing happened. Yeah, but she's showing text, but she never claimed it was rape. She claimed it was some kind of assault, but there was no penetration. So it's probably just him being a weirdo more than anything. But yeah, unless you go to the police, I can't even entertain what you're saying seriously because that means that you're not taking it seriously. That means you want some shut up money.
Yeah, it could be. I
That's
think
all.
Rolly did it, and I just had to see because I saw the tweet come out, and I was just like, okay, I didn't really think nothing of it, but because I was just gonna let some more information come out before, because my thoughts, I don't really have thoughts on those type of cases. I just let those be, because it's like you shouldn't be putting your hands on a woman anyways, especially in that kind of manner. Like you're a clown for that. Like, let's say you're in Tank's position, you're in EJ position, a Wilder position. You don't have to do that. Girls will come up to you and they'll give it to you. You know. So if that's what you're on, type of time you're on, you don't have to do anything like that. They'll give it to you. You know. So
Niggas, bro, but you gotta be, man, you gotta keep it 100, man. Some of these dudes ain't used to getting no pussy and shit like that, bro.
that's true.
Bruh, like
It's
there.
you can tell Rolly the way Rolly acts. He ain't never really got none like
If
that.
Jay Z, I'm gonna keep it real. If Jay Z didn't have no money, what kind of pussy do you think that man be getting? He was on Twitter a few years ago talking about there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. Shit.
Mm.
Like, come on,
I
bro. Like,
mean,
most of these dudes in boxing will have, like, I'm sorry, but David Benavidez, if you go on his Instagram and look at his bra, David Benavidez wouldn't have that girl if he wasn't making no boxing bread. If you was working at fucking Jiffy Lube, you think you'd have that pussy? Man, bro.
And you see, look at Adonis Stevenson, bro. He had that chick, that fine chick on his arm. The minute he get slip into that coma, they talking about she taking money from him. She trying to go ghost on that nigga, all types of shit. I'm like, bro, you see how fucked
damn.
up that shit is, man?
That's all it
Very.
is. Like,
Man,
watch when Ugas lose his belt. You think that fine ass woman he got gonna stay around? He already got rid of one of his exes before that. You
I
think
thought
that
you was
one?
about to say he already got alopecia.
Oh no, no,
I was about to say, ah, nigga, you fucked up.
no, because he's still getting paper. But after because his career is finna be over. He gonna fight Spence and maybe one or two more fights and then be finished. Because let's keep it real, he ain't beating that many other people. But yeah, watch when he get his little belt snatch. How many years you think she gonna hang in there for?
Shit, he get
I
knocked out
don't
by
know.
stenosis. Where you think she gonna go?
Oh hell no! If he get finished off by Stanionis, oh that's just a wrap, dog. She out in 6 months bet.
See, the thing
Mm-hmm.
is that too many niggas they be trying to get these baddies up here. You know, get you a little low key baddie down here, man. Cause there's some fine women that's down to this level. You know, that's willing to build with you. But niggas be trying to get them bad ones, them bad bras. And it's like, yeah,
Bitches that
yeah,
come after you get the deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
like
get you one that's before the deal.
well, a lot of there's a standard saying that women don't build. To be honest, they know how to utilize resources, but they don't want to go through the trouble to acquire them. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, and then what's funny is that Rolly, what he thought he was getting was on some bad bitch level, and it's literally like regular. Like in LA, she's probably like a five.
A bad built
Nigga, I
Latina.
ain't never been that thirsty, bro. I try to force a pussy. I know
Nah,
that for sure.
That's not
never.
attractive. Like it's always feels better when someone's choosing. Like I get no
Yeah, that's what
pleasure.
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, like
I,
there's no pleasure in it
nigga,
for me if
hell
I'm not
no.
being chosen.
Hell no. Nigga, I ain't never been in no situation where I'm like, nah, bitch, you gotta give me this pussy. Nah, fuck all
Nah,
that.
Yeah,
nah. I ain't
this is
forcing you to do
weird.
nothing. You don't have to pay to decide yourself.
Yeah, so before they try to say that we men are supporting Rolly and all this, I'm putting my flag down. I ain't supporting that shit. So,
I
I ain't
didn't
never
I
support
supported it.
mean,
Rolly
It's
before this. Rolly's always been a piece of shit to me. I didn't even like him. I don't like the
that's
way
what
he
I'm saying.
looks.
yeah.
People,
His
I
face
remember
sucks.
people were posting saying, "Oh, I just love this guy, Rolly. He's hilarious. He's gonna make this fight sell, bro." I'm like,
And
man,
you
this
look at
nigga's
him at the
corny. Talking about
he's a
like my
clown.
my dick's is bigger than your arms. Now that all that crazy shit he was saying about to come bite him in his ass.
Yep.
Shit, crazy, man.
If he even fights, what if he catch? I feel like he might use this to duck. Like, oh, I caught a case, so now I can't fight, and I'm sure. Like, I feel like maybe he might not even do it. In which case, I
Nigga,
wonder if he
that's
did.
more reason to take the damn fight if you caught a case,
Yeah.
nigga.
Hey, yeah. Yeah. You get knocked out
Oh, to
and
pay
you
off
get
the
Nigga, you better
Rolly
go
lawyers
get
bet
you a
on yourself
bag.
to get knocked out.
to,
Facts.
to pay the legal fees.
Because he was getting knocked out anyways. You better bet on yourself to get knocked out. Because he was getting knocked out anyways. To get you that bag. And then you get that pay-per-view bag. And then you deal with that.
Dude, pull a Kovalev.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Let Tank get one punch in to where he don't kill you, but then do the stanky leg real bad and quit.
That nigga Kovalev, he did that shit so fucking well.
He did. But I
He
still
like
could tell it was fake.
But
because
I was gonna say the performance wasn't even convincing. You telling me you outboxing this man clean the entire fight? He lands three glancing punches and you out of here? What the fuck?
A dude
from a
that
guy
started
that
at
he'd even knock Khan out like that, like where he hit you and you stumble. Like, bro, how come he couldn't do that to Chavez Jr.?
That's what the fuck I'm saying. Chavez Jr. is the second biggest quitter in all of boxing, and he went all 12 with Canelo.
And he went all 12.
Facts.
He quit on Danny
Damn,
That
Jacobs.
perpetuate.
And
nigga, you
and
just put that shit in hella perspective for me.
and get
That's
this.
true. This nigga
And
is
get
known for quitting, and he didn't quit. He went all 12.
but he quit against Danny Jacobs though. And people don't question shit.
And it was at a quit.
Chavez
It was at a
Jr.
catch
quit in
weight
the
too.
Yeah, Chavez Jr. quit in the corner against Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs loses to Canelo, but goes all 12 with Chavez Jr. People
And you
don't
know, Canelo
people
was
don't be
hitting,
watching enough boxing though.
bro. It wasn't even like Chavez Jr. was putting up any resistance. Canelo was literally landing every punch in the book.
Yeah, he was just getting punched. It just Canelo's is like people always say that Canelo's a Terminator. Okay, good for knocking out who? For knocking out who? Khan? Shit.
That's literally his best knockout.
Yeah, that's pretty much one of his only highlight reels. Like if anything, that might be his
And
only
then he
highlight.
over here sitting here talking about some. I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out, Plant. I'm like, shit.
He's repeating after his casuals. They always say,
And you
"Oh,
know what? You know what I'm seeing too? I'm seeing a little in this build up because I was just watching a little bit of that in the whatever it's called, the All Access. It looked like Canelo. He in love with this limelight. Oh no, that might be that man downfall.
I'm telling you, it's the same kind of pressure. It's a must win situation. Same as Mayweather, same as Lara, same as Triple G's 1 and 2, and every single time he
Yeah.
has folded under the pressure.
Yeah, he think he
Because this
gonna
motherfucker,
walk through Plant.
he says Canelo says on the All Access too. He says I never lose. That's what he
Bullshit, man.
said. He said I
Bullshit.
never lose.
If
Like
you
we've seen you lose at
okay,
least
all
three
right,
times,
fam.
my nigga.
Can you
And
rate the confidence up high?
Oh
he's
my
not talking
fuck,
about Plant like when he's doing this all access, he ain't talking about Plant like that. Like I feel like he thinks he's gonna run through Plant. Like he's believing all this hype on social media. All these dudes talking about he gonna KO Plant and stuff. Like, dude, like Canelo has said he's a good fighter, good jab and all that. But I still think even with that, he thinks he's gonna run through Plant like it's a different level. So that could
bruh.
be in
Like
his head. And Plant that PED talk got Canelo off his game because ain't nobody called him out on that.
check this out.
So
Y'all know Mike Benson on fucking Twitter. He's already putting that casual bullshit out. They already talking about Canelo's 2022 schedule as if Plant is not a thing. Check this out, bruh. This dude literally said, because I put under his Twitter, I was like, who the fuck you gonna fight 2022? A 40-year-old Triple G, a 39-year-old Better Biev, and two random mandatories. My comment got like 40 likes, right? Someone put underneath that
mhm.
that would be better than most of the competition out there between 168 and between 160 and 175 and
I
got
seen
200
that,
likes. I'm like, are you people fucking serious?
and that shit got like 100 something likes.
Bruh, it
A
got like
bunch of dick riders, man.
250. It got like 250 likes. I'm like, the casuals can't be that serious. You're telling me 40-year-old
Dick
old
eating
Triple
ass
G
niggas, bro.
40-year-old Triple G
It's
and
whatever it
39-year-old Better Biev are better than everybody between 160 and 175. Get the fuck away from me.
I'm
Yeah,
finna
because those two black guys hold the belt at 160. Nobody gives a fuck about those guys.
and
Even
I'm
if they
finna go get
came
something
up,
to eat, but
okay,
I'm finna I'm finna go get something to eat. But I'm gonna say this: if people act like Charlo and Andrade won't sell, if Canelo's the face of boxing, any fight that he has is gonna sell. You put Charlo and Canelo in Texas, that thing gonna sell out. You put Andrade and Canelo like in LA or something, that's gonna sell out. So for them to say that, just excuses, man. They don't want that work. And right now would probably be the best time for him to get Charlo, because Charlo after 3 years ago or the Charlo after the Derby Chico win, that might not have been so well. But Yeah, oh shit. We gonna see, man. Cause I feel like he'll fight
Yep.
Charlo now, cause of that Montiel shit. He'll probably think that Charlo ain't really been training him or he ain't really been doing shit, you know. So we gonna see.
Shit, but we'll see. I gotta end this live too. I gotta look at some shit. See y'all later, man.
All
All
right,
right, thanks for
peace.
having me on. Have a good one.
Hey, we gonna have a good night tomorrow.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure.
You gonna be on live tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm probably go live before the fight or after the fights.
Shit, we gonna chop it up with you afterwards. Then peace.
Shit, hell yeah.
All right,
All
later.
right, man.